That was Cross-Eyed Mary by Jethro Tull. I sound like a DJ, don't I? All right, this is me, Debbie, here with you all by my lonesome self on Tuesday night to bring to the Spreaker airwaves a little bit of explanation about some of the bullshit that's been going on around here. You know, I'm just going to start from wherever and just kind of be all over the place here. Number one, I don't do any drugs. Number two, I am not over 50 years old. Number three, anything and everything that Guy Shea has said about me is a fucking lie. He's a mullet. He is a liar. Okay, so don't get all your little panties and all your little boy panties in an uproar over thinking that he's some sort of fictitious hero here on Spreaker.com. I could give a flying fat rat's ass what he says, okay? You know, when I first came over to Spreaker, which I was not thrown off of Blog Talk Radio, basically everything the man says is a lie. I mean, he sucks off me for content, and I'm glad that I can provide him with content. And no, I'm not playing with the big boys, okay? Granted, now there's some big boys over here, but I'm not playing with the big boys, okay? What I'm playing with over here are radio rejects, okay? You can tell the people over here on Spreaker.com that got rejected with their little iHeartRadio applications, because it's the mean ones. It's the ones that have decided, oh, okay, you don't want me, then I'm going to go all out. And it's the ones that come on here and they bully women and they bully this and they bully that. Now, when I first came over here, I stumbled into Jay Sands' show and was received rather well. And I was received by many people rather well, as I was on Blog Talk Radio. And I went over to Talk Shoe for a few shows over there. I was invited by Apocalypse, who has now sold out. And what gets me about you guys is the way you sell out. You don't even trust your own instincts. That's what kind of men there are today in the world. They're not men anymore. They're not. They're nothing that I would call a man. They're nothing like my uncle. They're nothing like my father. They're nothing like my grandfathers were. They're these pussified little men that get behind these microphones and they bully women. They bully special needs guys. They bully all kinds of people and then they kiss ass to people like Johnny Molson. They kiss ass. Oh, shouts out to Johnny Molson, because they think that by kissing his ass that he's not going to pick on them. Okay, that's what kind of pussies you're looking at over here. And I've got to tell you, I am very disappointed that this idiot, and by the way, my father, who was a lifetime Marine Corps veteran, coined the phrase mullet. And no, trust me, he's not referring to a haircut, you stupid, backward ass Grovite. I mean, I can put up with your bullying of me, and when you start bullying people that are on my show that are special needs, then you've really pissed me off. Yeah, and for your information, I can get pissed off. And I know that you've bought into the Desert Rose little gang. Oh, Debbie's crazy, and Debbie's this, and Debbie's that, and Debbie's this, and Debbie's that. Well, the same people that gave you the links to those YouTube videos are now laughing that you're believing them. They're laughing. Wild Goose was cracking up. And he's the one that fucking made the videos. He created the videos that you're going off of. Oh, well, you ought to go over there to her YouTube channel. It just proves everything. She's crazy. She's this, she's that. I mean, whatever. I don't need you, Guy Shay. I don't need any of you people on here, just like you don't need me. And what cracks me up is when most of the people on Spreaker met me and judged for themselves me, they loved me. I mean, and I say love not in the real meaning of the word love, like I love my husband and my kids and all that. But I mean, they liked me. They laughed at my jokes. They loved when I was around. They always said, call in, call in, call in. But then when the bullshit came in, when Desert Rose's fat ass came into the picture, okay, and she started telling her little army to go out and spread their bile around Spreaker about me, then all of a sudden everybody started changing their mind. Oh, I don't want to talk to Debbie. I don't want to give her a shout out. I don't want to go over to Debbie anymore. You know, because you all are not going off of what you originally thought. You don't trust your own thinking. You don't trust your own judgment. You little people are letting others make the judgments for you. You're letting Guy Shay lead you around by your dicks. You're letting Guy Shay lead you around by your nose. And it's been told to me by I can't tell you how many people that all he's trying to do is run you off the network. Well, let me tell you something, little boy. You're going to have to really do some running to get me off of it. Because what I do this for has nothing to do with you. And has nothing to do with any other pussy man out there that once liked me, once invited me on their show, this, that, and the other, and now they're letting somebody else make their decisions. They're letting somebody else make their judgment calls. Well, you don't need to like Debbie Daddy. Oh, okay, we won't. Yes, sir, Mr. Shay. And you know why? Because you're all scared little pussies. You're all scared. All of you are. Now, there's a few real men on here that are sticking with me, okay? But I'm even afraid to say their little names, that they'll get their little wee whackers all upset. One of them's Ernie Talbot. He's sticking by me. He's staying my friend because he's a real man. He's not letting somebody else lead him around by his dick, okay? He's a real man and knows what I am. He knows what trolls are. He knows what haters are. And yes, they are trolls and haters. Okay? And yes, they are bullies. A bully defined by Webster's dictionary is, let's take a look and see, a person who uses strength or power to harm or intimidate those who are weaker. Okay? That's how they define bully. Or use strength or influence to intimidate, or typically to force him or her to do what one wants. Well, I would say that Guy Shay is the bully of this network. Now, you're looking at I took a long look at him the other day. I did a little research on him too. And suffice it to say, he's older than I am. But that's all he talks about is old this and old that. Well, you know something? And then he goes on his show. I could go point by point by point. Let's see, the lies he said were. Number one, he said that I tell kids not to tell their parents that they do drugs. Lie. He said that I'm trying to think of what all he said now. I didn't listen to the whole thing because then he started bashing on my co-host Dave, which any man, let's not even say man, any male with male genitalia that would pick on a special needs guy, what kind of a sick fuck is that? Guy Shay will never know me. Do you know how many people have come off the internet to meet me? And they love me more now than they did before they met me. Because they said, every one of them, I am more in person than I even was on the internet. I'll tell you what it is. It's these guys that got shoved into the lockers, that were too fat to get dates, that were too ugly to get dates, and now they're behind their keyboards and they're big men. They're gonna get all over the ones of us that were sitting at the cool people's table. I was a cheerleader in high school. I was the lieutenant of the drill team. I was one of the big shots, okay? So I don't need to push people around. I don't need to do this to make myself look better and feel better. I do what I do because there's a reason that I do it. There's a reason I did it on Blog Talk Radio. And nobody is going to bully me off of here. Now, if this network wants to cancel my membership and throw me off the network, then that's fine. Number two, he claims that I'm doing something about my numbers, and I'm like, what? You know, people that come up with that kind of a bullshit, that's got to be people that do things themselves. People that say things that I do that I've never even heard of in my life. How would I jimmy the numbers on my Spreaker? What, go in there and white it out? I don't know what he's talking about. Number three, he mentions on there that what else does he say? Oh, and we just do this in good fun. Bullshit. Fun for who, Guy Shay? Who is it fun for? Oh, she threw 15 people out of her chat room. I did not. I banned 3 people. And they weren't doing anything but asking just nice little questions. Well, let's just take a little looky through and see what quote-unquote nice questions these gentlemen, these fine scholarly gentlemen of Spreaker.com were asking. Shall we? Let's. Okay, I just happen to keep the chat log. Luckily for me, I do keep the goddamn chat log because of these lying son of a bitches that come on here and tell everybody a bunch of bullshit. Okay, it says, and I quote, okay, the chat log of which he speaks, the night I had my Bible show, well, we just had some fine people from Spreaker coming in there just asking some religious questions, and she was just kicking them out left and right. I don't know how many she kicked out, maybe 14 or 15. Okay? Let's just see what questions they were asking. Guy Shay says, laughing out loud, "Good name, Debbie. Why would you call me a troll? That's not very nice after I helped you out." Then What's Hot on Spreaker says, "I have been on Spreaker for over 6 months. I am no troll. I am sorry for just airing my opinion in the interactive chat." Guy Shay says, "You are pretty insecure, Debbie. Everybody who makes a joke is a troll. Wow, maybe you are an old crackhead hoe." Okay. Then DJ Ben Clark says, "Just get to the fucking point, Mr. Gay Solution." Okay. And then DJ Ben Clark says, "Why don't they get involved in her chat?" What's Hot on Spreaker said, "Does this show have a landline to call?" Guy Shay says, "Listen to this David dude. Sounds a bit overweight and maybe a future victim of his own heart attack." Now, y'all let me know when we get a real question about the Bible, okay? Rick says, "Disability is for crackheads and suicidal fucks." What's Hot on Spreaker says, "Sounds like you're the troll. Did you not just talk about somebody who wasn't here to defend themselves?" Rick says, "That's a guy?" Guy Shay says, "Debbie is jealous of my and other big shows here at Spreaker. Not a pro, baby." Still haven't seen what he said. Rick goes, "What the fuck, Debbie? Oh, it's like that now?" What's Hot on Spreaker says, "My name is Jennings Scott." Rick says, "I'm on David's side." Rick goes, "David is awesome." DJ Ben says, "David does what Debbie says." What's Hot on Spreaker goes, "Debbie, did you not just say hateful things about another person but others can't? Why is that?" Rick goes, "Report her." DJ Clark says, "Report her." DJ Ben Clark says, "Debbie was involved in commotion on BTR?" And Rick says, "Report everyone." I said, "Don't worry, I banned them all. Rick, Guy, and that other jerk." Good, everybody says. Good, good, good. Scrolling down, that's just David and Deshaun and blah, blah, blah. What's Hot on Spreaker then says, at 45 past 10, "I find believe in the Bible to be for fools." No, this is the way she wrote it, or he wrote it. "I find believe in the Bible to be fools. To do so would be believing in incest. Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel. Where did Cain and Abel's wives come from?" Okay? Now, as far as I can see, that is the only decent question on the Bible. But that's not what Guy Shay said. Well, I just happened to walk into Debbie's chat room the other night when she was having her fake Bible show, and all these good people from Spreaker.com were in there, and they were all just asking these nice, wonderful Bible questions, and that crazy old dried up bitch just kicked them all out. Sorry, baby, but the facts are in the facts. I tell the truth. What's Hot on Spreaker says, where did they come from? I'm actually looking for an answer. Are you saying you won't answer your listeners' questions? And I said, stand by What's Hot on Spreaker. We've had that asked many times. And I said, What's Hot on Spreaker? I will not interrupt him, but I will ask as soon as he stops. What's Hot on Spreaker says, why did Debbie block all of those others? I was told when you study a life with God, you are to take your enemies. Am I wrong? And then I'm scrolling down. That's me. And then, there's lots of words. There's like WGR, Daniel, Josh, David, Debbie. What's Hot on Spreaker says, so you all will blindly follow others without hearing them first? Interesting. I said, yes, it's called faith. I said, why are you here? So, says What's Hot on Spreaker, you've spoken directly to Spreaker, huh? I said, yes, and you won't rattle me. What's on Spreaker says, I am here because I do a show here on Spreaker that helps listeners find shows they like. I was told to check your show out. And I said, well, every time I have a show, these men come in my chat room and start calling me names. I'm scrolling down. I said, Spreaker informed me to ban them. Who was that? I'm sorry to ask, but I have had some issues with that kind of stuff, and they never got back to me. And I said to Who's Hot on Spreaker, so you're the judge of what's good and bad on Spreaker? Interesting. No, I don't judge anyone. All I do is play promos from the show. No opinions. And that was all I got. Oh, okay, then it goes down here. What's Hot on Spreaker goes, when I first got on Spreaker, there was a guy here doing the same thing, and it helped me to find good shows. So when he left, I took to doing it. In my opinion, it's all about spreading the Spreaker love. And then lots of people were saying lots of really nice things. And we were talking about Ishmael and this, that, and the other. So What's Hot says, to be honest with you, I don't care if no one listens. I do it for non-selfish reasons. I don't even put my real name on it. I want no recognition for it. I just want people to find shows they like. And then I start talking about Isaac and the angels and Sarah and Ishmael and this, that, and the other. And then they say, well, I have all I need for my night. Enjoy your night, folks. Hopefully you are nicer to new listeners than you were to me. Why are you trying to down me for an unselfish show like that? Now, first of all, who downed them? Nobody. Did I? No. As I said before, there is no judgment on the show. I just play show promos. You did not have to be rude. Good evening to all of you. Godly people, my foot. I hope that God you believe in has mercy for people like you all if he exists. And that was from What's Hot on Spreaker. You know, they manufacture it. Oh, and then they came back. And he says, What's Hot on Spreaker says, hold on, David, I'm talking. So to be uncircumcised is to be sinful. You all can't possibly believe that, do you? Then What's Hot on Spreaker says, so you're saying this chat is full of underage kids and the host is almost 50. David, I can't read with you calling. You're getting on my screen. She is the female Chris Top. She is Spreaker's female pedophile. Okay? And I said, did I just get called a pedophile? Is that what I saw? Are you kidding me? Really? I said, kids all in your chat in love with you and you don't tell them to go? Yeah, you're a pedophile. I said, what? Are you joking me? And some people were standing up for me and saying she's the most trustworthy person online. Kids in my chat? David is 28. Deshaun is 42. The only kid in the chat room that I know of was WGR Network, and I don't allow him on my show because he's 13. Calling me a pedophile? Are you fucking kidding me? But that's what these people do. Now do you see how they operate? They manufacture things about me. But what gets to me is these idiots on Spreaker.com that are going along with them. They didn't trust what they thought about me. Oh no. They've now gone back and they're believing what these other idiots are telling them to believe. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. They all loved me until the idiot came along and started pointing them to the bullshit. And it is bullshit. It's all bullshit. And the people that are making it up are even laughing. They're laughing that they're believing it because the people on BTR believed it at first until it was all proven to be bullshit. Then they all just kind of went, humana, like that. Okay? They're trolls, people. Don't you know what trolls do? Trolls troll you until you troll them back, like I did. When you troll them back, you piss them off. When you piss them off, they go after you with a vengeance. The type of vengeance they go after you is they become you, and they become a bad you, a mean you. That's what they did to me. They became a bad me. They began to piece together things that I would say and splice it all up to where you wouldn't believe it. I'm going to give you an online demonstration of splicing to show y'all how easy it is to play with my words. Okay? Let me see, what can I say? I'll just say, hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daily Show. I tell you what, I hate when I have to come on here early because my goddamn kids are so perfect that I just don't want to leave them. I don't. It drives me crazy to have to leave my kids. Last night I was on another network and I heard some people talking about blacks and how they wanted to kill them. And I was just disgusted with the whole thing. It made my stomach ill. Now watch me. I'm going to manipulate what I just said, okay? I want you to watch how I manipulate my words and make it say something else. Here's what I said. Hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daily Show. I tell you what, I hate when I have to come on here early because my goddamn kids are so perfect that I just don't want to leave them. I don't. It drives me crazy to have to leave my kids. Last night I was on another network and I heard some people talking about blacks and how they wanted to kill them. And I was just disgusted with the whole thing. It made my stomach ill. Now watch me. I'm going to manipulate what I just... Now let's have a little fun with it, okay? Let's pretend like we're going to troll Debbie, all right? Let's first say this. Hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daily Show. I tell you what, I hate... Let's stop right there. I hate, okay? Now, let's come over here and pick up... Are so... Wait a minute, let's pick up right here. Kids. Let's pick up right here. Damn kids. Okay, let's pick up, hold on, I think it's right here. Because my goddamn kid, all right? We're going to come over here to my blank blank kids, and we're going to take out the middle where it says blank blank. Just watch what I'm going to show you what they do, okay? They're experts at it. But they're not any more expert at anything than I'm not. My kids, my kid. Okay, now we're going to grab my kids, and we're going to take that out. And we're going to come over here and say, hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daily Show. I tell you what I hate. Now let's pause that and put this in there. Oh, I'm so full. I ate so much dinner. Now I think I messed it up. Hold on. I think I did. Let me see. Hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daily Show. I tell you what, I hate my kid. Okay, now it says I hate my kids. Okay, again. I tell you what, I hate my kid. Okay, I accidentally took off the s at the end, but anyway, you get the point. I hate my kids. Okay, now let's come in here and see where we left off. When I have to come on here early because are so perfect that I just don't want to leave them. Now let's take the words I just want. I'm just doing this off the top of my head here. To come on here early because are so perfect that I just don't want to leave them. Let's see what this is. That I just don't want to leave them. That I just don't want to leave. I would take that I just don't want. I say that I just. We're going to get in there the words hate and Negroes. Watch what I can do. I can make it sound do you get the point? They splice them. And I can go over to YouTube and play every one of them, and then I can go back and show you the original broadcast where it did not say that. The one that they're hanging their hat on right now that they're so proud of, especially Guy Shay, he's just hanging his hat on this one. Let's go over to YouTube and do a search of Debbie Daily, Debidally. Okay. The biggest one that he's hanging his hat on is this one right here. Okay, now to begin with, this was not even broadcast, okay? Well, okay, let's do another one. I'm trying to find the one that he hangs his hat on here. Oh, let's see. Every one of these are spliced. It's so freaking hysterical. Okay, listen to the splice right here.
And to this very moment of which I'm speaking to you, I don't know how I did it. I went against my better belief system. I knew. Looking back, I saw the red flags, and I felt that this was not right.
Oh, okay. I just see another one over here. Okay, we'll get back to that one. This one, you're going to crack up when you hear this one. This one, they actually believe that I believed this was ghost calling.
That has just come on the board, and it is from Dunlop 145. Welcome to the program.
Doesn't it feel better to take an anal rape by a pitchfork right now, saying,
Volkswagen.
No. Actually, Ghost, I have
Now, they want you to believe that I actually believed that that was ghost. How stupid is that? Of course, I knew that wasn't ghost. But see, the way these mullets operate is if they tell lies, they're trolling. They make it sound happy like troll-a-lo-la-lo. But if we troll, we're lying. Do you get it? They want to make you sound so much worse than they are. But let me tell you something, people. These people are the lowest of the low. They're dirt, okay? Now, I've met trolls in my days that I adore, several of them. But there are some of them that are the lowest of the low. And there are a lot of people, you know, when you're on the internet, you're one of two people. You're either a real person, such as myself, and I know plenty of them out there, or you're a troll. And what I mean by a troll is just a bad person, a person that has been hurt in life. They're either getting old, or they're fat, or there's a reason they can't stand their own vision, okay? Their own vision of themselves. And so, therefore, they take all the hate that they have in their lives for themselves, and they spew it at some unknowing person like myself. They think I'm some sort of a dumping ground. Well, let me tell you something, bitches. I am not a dumping ground. I was very much respected on Blog Talk Radio, and the only reason that I ever got banned off of Blog Talk Radio was in 2010. I'm going to read the emails tonight for the first time. Can you believe it? I'm going to read the emails. Let's see. It's in archive. Is it archive? No, it's in this one. Okay. All right. We're just going to come clean here tonight. It was back and forth between me and Shannon Dingy. There was a troll that was done to me. They couldn't figure out any way to get me off of Blog Talk Radio, so they pretended to be me to get me off of Blog Talk Radio. So what they did is they became me, and they called into one of the shows over there, and they pretended to commit suicide on the air. Do I think it's a good troll? I think it's an awesome troll. There have been many times that we've laughed at it, but it didn't do me any good because it got me bounced off of Blog Talk Radio. Why? Because I wouldn't roll over on the BWC. The BWC did it 2 days later, and I have that I have everything. I have the chat between me and the person that ratted them out. One of the guys in the BWC ratted them out. They said that it was spazzy and blah, 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 blah. Told the whole thing, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Dear Shannon, just a quick note about two things. First and foremost, my show on Blog Talk Radio is going great. Lots of great reviews. Holding strong on page 1. Built bridges with Mr. E, Rich G, Bill Wagoner, and much more. Lots of good vibes going on. Two things. My cell phone is still blocked from Blog Talk Radio, which is 214-403-1231. And my home phone is blocked, which is 972-203-9894. Don't get excited. Those have all been disconnected. Luckily, I have 5 lines here that I can still use, but sometimes I need to use the other ones also, and this is kind of big. There is still a test account that is hooked to my name, Debbie Daly, that when Googled on the www is what hits. I've had so many listeners say, I had no idea that you were back on, Debbie. I believe it's due to the fact that when you do a basic Google search of my name, it goes straight to this test account. Can we get that deleted? I hope you're doing well, playing your guitar and raising those little monsters. Love, Debbie. Okay? This was dated October 27th of 2010. I have nothing to hide, guys. And all I'm doing is I'm just proving that this all is a bunch of bullshit, okay? Bathtub Girl goes on Mr. Midnight Movie Show the other night and goes, well, now she was 404 for playing somebody else's content. Bathtub Girl is a troll. She's a liar. And that's what trolls do. And when trolls really get pissed off about you, they lie about you, and sometimes they become you and lie. They turn into you and lie. Oh, they're just hysterical. And yes, there are normal people that are hosts of online radio talk shows that are trolls. Nobody's got enough guts to call them a troll. Guy Shea is a troll. That's all he is. He got rejected by iHeartRadio, and now he's pissed off at the world. And now he's going to go balls out to be just as mean as he can and horrible as he can. Okay? And he's going to just be, he thinks he's like Howard Stern or something. You know what I'm saying? And he's bullying Debbie, this female, on this new female that came on. And he thinks he's a big tough guy. Oh, he's a big man. Big man. He's a tough man. Oh, and the troll group just loves him. The little haters like Goofy Bone, that little mullet. Let me tell you about Goofy Bone. Goofy Bone is a street thug. That's all he is. And I've never in my life, he goes on his show the other night and he goes, Debbie Daly is mad because this old grandma, she wants to play with the 30-year-olds. And I'm going, Goofy, you know, sometimes people, I just won't touch people because I just won't, because it's too easy. It would be a slaughter. And I just kind of leave him alone because I don't even want to start it, because Goofy is not in my league. Goofy is just a little person that loves to tell Mexicans where he lives, that he's a big radio show, big shot, and he's not. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that sounds really shitty, but it's true. That's all it is. And he cannot stand it that I've got him figured out. Now, the other day, Holly Stalling called into my show as a little baby. Did you know that there are people that actually think that that was a baby I was talking to and telling her things that were just horrible? Jesus Christ, people, it was Holly freaking Stalling. Are you that stupid? You actually think I would do something like that to a baby? I would let a 3-year-old? Are you fucking kidding me? What kind of person do you think I am? Do you believe these trolls? People, these trolls are laughing at you. They're laughing. They're going, he actually believed that shit. You bought into this bullshit. You bought into these fucking things that these people have done to me. Goose and I have our own relationship off of Spreaker and off of Blog Talk Radio. You know what he did the other day? You want to know exactly what went on between Goose and I on Skype? Goose sends me his music and says, what do you think about this? And I give him my opinion. And he goes, oh, so you think I should change that? And I said, yes. And he changes it and he sends it to me. That's who made the videos, guys. And the other day I said, you little shit, you sent those videos. And he just put LOL. I said, they believed them. And you know what his reply was? LOL. I said, you little shit, why did you do that? You know those are all bullshit. And you know what his reply was? LOL. You know, it's so funny that these people are buying into this crap because it's just hysterical. I'm sorry, it just is. I'm going to talk about David for a second. I don't even know if I'm going to have David on my show anymore. Because David sends a note to me on Skype today that says, and I quote, I've been lightheaded all day, I've been nauseous, and I've thrown up. Okay? Now, David can get depressed and suffer from anxiety. And if having him on this show is going to cause this asshole to pick on him and get him upset, I'm not going to have it. I mean, I can't even have a co-host on here that this fucking mullet doesn't go after. You know what a mullet is? My father, who was a United States Marine Corps veteran, he was a master sergeant. I'm going to repeat that, a master sergeant, which is something you'll never be. You couldn't even get in the Marines if you tried. Number one, you're too old. My father was a master sergeant, and he used to call guys mullets that were idiots. It was his way of saying idiot. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was great that he said that, because I used to think it was so funny. We'd be out driving around in his golf cart, on the golf course, and he'd go, mullet, and talking about some guy. And this idiot's on there going, Debbie, mullet is a hairdo, a haircut. I'm going, no, you are a mullet. According to the greatest man I never knew, my father, you are a mullet. Over on Blog Talk Radio, there is one man that stands supreme among all of them in everybody's mind. And that man is Mr. Solution. Mr. Solution is revered by many people as the most intelligent person on Blog Talk Radio. People have begged to have Mr. Solution on their show. They begged. They've clamored to my chat room on Blog Talk Radio to try to convince Mr. Solution to come on their show. About 9 months ago. About 9 months ago, exactly. It was in February of this year. Mr. Solution calls into my show after I had called him every name in the book, which he deserved, and he'll tell you face to face that he deserved it, and asks me if he can co-host my show doing a study of the Bible. Now, I don't claim to be what is called a Bible thumper. I don't even claim to be a goody-goody Christian, but that's not what I'm supposed to claim. Because if you really believe in the Bible, you'll understand me. I've told people many times that there was one movie that my father forced us to watch all the time, which I hated, which was Patton. And I've said it 1,000 times. There's a scene in Patton when Patton is leading his troops into Paris. And one of the reporters runs up to Patton's Jeep and says, General Patton, is it true you read the Bible? And he said, every goddamn night. And that's the kind of Christian I am. I am a Christian. I believe, and I will always believe. Nothing will ever change that. Well, one night I was talking on my show with a buddy of mine named Dave, not the Dave you guys know, but another buddy of mine named Dave, about Job. I just mentioned in passing Job. And Mr. Solution hears this and calls in and says, I didn't realize that you knew that much about, the Bible. I said, well, Mr. Solution, I was raised on the Bible. And he says, I love the book of Job. I said, do you really? That's one of my favorite books too. And he asks me to do a show on the book of Job. And I was very, very taken back by it. I was like, wow, okay. And I just thought it was worth noting, I guess. I don't know. It was great. I was very, very flattered that he asked me to do that. I'm reading something. I'm not taking any calls. I'm not going to let David on tonight because David has had a hard day listening to that idiot guy Shay. And I'm not going to be responsible for putting David in the hospital. Okay, I don't want that blood on my hands. If David is going to be pounded on by this bully, Guy Shay, then I don't want him to be on my show. I'm not going to put David through that. And if that idiot won't shut the fuck up and leave him alone, he was on there last night making fun of David. He was calling Dave a retard and saying that all my listeners are retards and stuff. I'll have you know, Guy Shay, that Blog Talk Radio blows Spreaker's dick in the dirt, okay? And you talk about how it's a little bitty network and all this, that, and well, screw you. You don't know anything about Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio is one of the biggest sites on the internet. Compared to Spreaker, Spreaker doesn't touch it. The only reason why I came over here was because of the sound quality was so much better. And I thought there would be some decent people over here to hang out with. And boy, was I wrong about that. I was right about that until you came along, until you allowed Desert Rose and her little rat pack to infiltrate and go, you shouldn't really like Debbie Daly. She's nuts. And yeah, I got real pissed off that night I called into Jay's show. I was so upset I could have chewed nails. I could not believe it. I was in shock when I looked up and saw that bitch on his show. I thought, oh my freaking God. I couldn't believe it. I was in shock. I fucked up. I called in. I was upset. There's no taking that back. So it'll just have to become a memory. And if that's what every one of y'all that were my friends are hanging your hat on, are going to hang your hat on, then I don't need you as a friend. This will tell you just a little bit about Blog Talk Radio. Take a listen.
Okay, so do you want some dweeby nerd statistics, guys? I mean, really? Seriously? Okay, on Blog Talk Radio, which is the 815th, ranked in the U.S., 815th, and that's pretty high. That's huge. Blog Talk Radio is the 815th highest rated website on the internet.
Wow.
But that's huge. That's just Blog Talk Radio. Okay, now out of Blog Talk Radio, the Debbie Daly Show in the last 30 days has had 3.4% traffic. And remember we talked about how your ratings were going down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the last 30 days, you were at 3.4% of Blog Talk Radio's traffic. The rank of the Blog Talk Radio is the 815th highest rating website in the entire United States. And you're 3.4% of their traffic right now. Okay, the last 7 days, you've bumped up to 4.3%, and yesterday, you were
Okay, stop. I just got a Skype chat from David. Now let me show you how even David's turning this around. Good night, Debbie. I'm sorry if being your co-host has brought this on to you. If being your co-host has brought this on you, where would David get that him being my co-host has brought this on him? Brought this on me. I just said, and I'm going to repeat myself, David. Being my co-host is bringing this on you. You are having problems because of me. Don't even you turn this around on me, okay? I don't know. Do people not understand what I say? I just said, I'll have to repeat the whole thing again. When Guy Shay, that bully, started picking on David, I started thinking to myself, why have I got David involved in this? It's because of me. You are getting picked on, David. If you would have never been on my show, he would have never caused you to get picked on. So please, guys, don't turn shit around like this. That's so stupid. God damn. Even David's turning it around? Are you fucking kidding me? Back to where were we? Let's start all over. These people need to hear this twice.
I don't know what who was on the show yesterday? Did I show up yesterday? No, I think I fell asleep early. Okay, so do you want some dweeby nerd statistics, guys? Really? Seriously? Okay, on Blog Talk Radio, which is the 815th, ranked in the U.S.
Okay, Blog Talk Radio is the 815th ranked in the U.S. Guess what Spreaker is today? 5,494. okay? Again, Blog Talk Radio is 815, which the best one is 0, or number 1, which would be Google. Number 2 is probably Yahoo. Number 3 is probably Facebook. Blog Talk Radio is 815. Spreaker is 5,494. You can do the math. So don't try to tell me that, oh, this is where the big dogs are.
815th, and that's pretty high. That's huge. Blog Talk Radio is the 815th highest rated website on the internet.
Wow.
But that's huge. That's just Blog Talk Radio. Okay, now out of Blog Talk Radio, the Debbie Daly Show in the last 30 days has had 3.4% traffic. And remember we talked about how your ratings were going down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the last 30 days, you were at 3.4% of Blog Talk Radio's traffic. The rank of the Blog Talk Radio is the 815th highest rating website in the entire United States. And you're 3.4% of their traffic right now. Okay, the last 7 days, you've bumped up to 4.3%, and yesterday, you were and I don't know what who was on the show yesterday? Did I show up yesterday? No, I think I fell asleep early.
How much was it?
Okay, 6.2% of all of Blog Talk Radio's traffic, you were yesterday.
God damn.
So you were 6.2% of the 815th highest rated internet website in the United States.
They also had an ad, too.
And you had an ad?
What?
That's the world, isn't it?
Yeah. What did you say, Bobby?
Yeah, you had an ad about a helicopter flight over the Grand Canyon. There's an ad
what the fuck
between...
is that?
Somebody paid Blog Talk Radio to advertise on your website, is what Bobby's saying.
Oops, I'm here. So that means Spreaker is 5,494 and BTR is number 815. Now, maybe it's just me, but you do the math. It looks like Spreaker is down here, and they're not even in Blog Talk Radio's league. So I don't understand why this idiot, well, you're over here with the big boys now. Bullshit, I'm over here with the mullets, to be perfectly honest with you. I've gone down, to be perfectly honest with you. I came over here thinking that all these people were nice and classy, and I was so impressed until she showed up. The day she showed up on his show, it all went to shit. Because why? Because they're all buying into the bullshit. I think it's hysterical. So here's what we're going to do. After this song, I'm going to tell you my little plan.
Up every morning just to keep a job. I gotta fight my way through the hustle and mob. Sounds of the city pounding in my brain while another day goes down the drain. But it's a 5 o'clock world when the whistle blows. No one owns a piece of my time, and there's a 5 o'clock of me inside my clothes, thinking that the world looks fine. Time for the pay I get, living on money that I ain't made yet. Gotta keep going, gotta make my way, gotta live for the end of the day. Cause it's a 5 o'clock world when the whistle blows. No one owns a piece of my time, and there's a long-haired girl who waits, I know, to ease my troubled mind. Shelter of the arms, everything's okay. She talks
Hello, hello. I am still here with you. I am still Debbie, and it is still Tuesday night. It is 49 past the hour now on a glorious night here in Dallas, Texas. Beautiful day again today. Of course, we're having our Indian summer, I guess you could say right now, where, have you ever noticed how blue the sky gets? It gets that real beautiful purple blue, and it just seems like the atmosphere is crystal clear. But yet you have a jacket on and you're walking the dog, and it just seems like, man, I wish every day was like this. That's the way it is in San Diego. I love San Diego. Oh, by the way, this is my thyroid medicine, which is levothyroxine 0.150 milligrams. Take 1 tablet by mouth daily. Walgreens. So, oh, that's her taking those drugs. Maybe I should take drugs to hang out with you people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show y'all all just a little history first of all, so I can make a point. And the point is this. Let me find it here. Okay. Da-da-dee-dee. Okay. The night before all of this went to shit, okay, the night before, I was on a show here on Blog Talk Radio, on Spreaker.com. I'm sorry, I still say Blog Talk Radio. On Spreaker.com, and having a blast. And everybody was just loving me. I was loving them, blah, 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 blah. And it went a little something like this.
Coming up next. She's wild.
The Debbie Daily Show. Live on Spreaker.com. Debbie Daily, changing the world, one caller at a time.
Hardly tell.
Just do it, Clopton.
I always wondered about how that happens.
You're way too cute. I could eat you up for my dinner.
Oh, that was not bad. A little bit twangy, but okay. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Can you sing that for me? I'm joking, of course.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
In the most delight. What, Rick?
I like this. They're getting along nicely, huh?
This is nice. Something from your life.
Let me look.
Papakali says he's going to send Guy Shea a Bible, and then they're going to do a Bible show soon.
I love it. I'm going to send him a Bible. Apocalypse is funny as hell.
Good one, Apocalypse. Really I like that.
Just ignore all the rumors. Apocalypse is not a bad guy.
No, he goes on.
Shh, my husband just walked in. Yes, that's very good. That recipe is 1/2 cup of sugar, and no, I'm joking.
Hey Jay, I just sent you a little something in Skype.
Oh, we was talking about the size of Rick's penis.
Again.
He said it was 2 inches. I got that.
That's right. 2 inches. 2 full inches.
Is that at full attention?
Really?
There is 1 inch, and we have to have it twice.
I got it worked down to a science. I just start out with the tip for a little while, so that way when I thrust that other inch in...
Oh, my God, he's so graphic.
It's like, whoa. You know what I mean? But it's...
3 pumps in a squirt.
Never mind. I guess you'll have to be there, Debbie.
You got to say, ladies, it's not the meat, it's the motion, right?
Well, the motion.
No, one of the 3 biggest lies in the world...
I like it on the bottom. I'm not moving.
The 3 biggest lies in the world are, I love you, size doesn't matter, and I won't come in your mouth. No, I'm joking. Checks in the mail. That's a good one, too.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
It won't come in your mouth. Well, I would never lie to you, Debbie. I would definitely shoot it straight into your mouth.
Oh, my God. This is horrible.
See what
you gurgle for me?
I have to get some water. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here comes some water. Hold on.
Oh, I smell a bit.
See, you talked over it, Ernie. Y'all there? Are y'all still there?
While we wait.
Oh, fetch the stick, Dino. Fetch the stick. Fetch the stick. No. Let's try it again. That's tight, sticky. Hi, Barney. What are you doing, Fred? I'm teaching Dino some tricks.
Okay, are you getting my point here? having a blast
Don't learn any tricks, Debbie.
with these people. They're loving me. I'm loving them.
Yes, I'm here.
Right?
Oh, okay. I thought we lost.
Having a ball.
No.
Swallow and talk.
I named the show.
No.
I named the show Jay Sands. Well, what do you know? That show aired on the 24th of October. The next night, guess who's on the Jay Sands show doing readings? Doing the most awful reading I've ever heard in my life because the bitch isn't intuitive. She wants to be everything and anything I am.
Gurgle dog.
No.
All right, yeah. Can we get the gurgle and get a nice, good, strong, healthy gurgle?
No.
No.
Oh, gee.
Not anymore. I already did it one time and y'all weren't paying attention, so too
I
bad.
know.
Oh, I was
Do
paying
I?
attention. I heard it.
My husband just walked in. Honey, do I spit or swallow?
Oh,
He's laughing his ass off.
I didn't even know you sucked cock. What the fuck?
Rick goes, Vic goes, I didn't even know you sucked cock. Victor's losing it. That was a good one. Oh, you.
So,
What, baby? Uh-huh. What? Vic's horrible.
notice how quiet everybody got. Notice how quiet everybody got. Your husband.
I'm just trying to figure out what time he's leaving in the morning.
That's right. You're not too far from Texas, are you? Hop, skip, and a jump.
He could be on the tarmac in 3 hours.
Yeah.
And now that I know she sucks cock, it's even closer.
I'm scared to go to Texas now. Now that I know that Debbie's there, she might be like, "You've got my Ernie."
No, I'm over Ernie. I am. I'm over Ernie.
Now look,
Because
now
I
she's
called.
pretending she's not bothered. Wait till she sees me next year. She's gonna go. She's gonna pretend to be all nice. Then she's
Hello,
gonna, like,
Donna.
voice-
I got something here for you.
Hello, Donna. Hello. What's up, Governor? No, I'm joking.
So, Jay,
Yes, sir.
I'm guessing this holiday coming up here in America, I don't know if they have this over there in the UK, but this has got to be one of your favorite holidays of the year, huh?
You're talking about Halloween?
I am. You get to pass out all that candy, man.
Yes, that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. They call me the Candy Man. You say my name 3 times, and it's like melting in your mouth.
It's like the one time a year they come to you and you don't have to take, you save gas that night.
That's right, buddy. That's exactly right. Got it, baby. But I hate when the parents walk up to the door with the kids, because then it just
Makes it awkward, doesn't
Spoils
it?
it, doesn't
I'm
it,
wondering
Jay?
if Chris Hansen's going to jump out of the bushes.
Chris Hansen's going to jump out of the bushes. You're horrible. So, Vic is here. Is there any way that you can prove that you are actually singing when you play those songs?
I don't know how else to
My husband is not convinced that is Jay Sands. He swears that it is.
I'll tell you what. Since your husband is the biggest man that you know in Dallas, here's what we're going to do.
Why don't you sing to us now, Jay?
Why don't you let me finish a sentence, Donna? You little pig.
Hey. Watch it.
It got to me a little bit. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm a little upset. That's all. And I think I'm doing very well.
Hey, to me, Sinatra does a good impersonation of Sands, all right? That's
There you go.
Yeah.
How about that? But what we're going to do, we're going to have him, you're going to have to come to Vegas. It will be at the Binion Hotel. And when that happens, you guys can come down and watch the show. And that's the only way we could prove it to him.
Yes, indeed.
Jack?
Either she fell off the chair or something's going on with those two. I know they're married, but on the air?
Well, maybe Debbie can come out on stage and do the intro for you before you come out there, you know what I mean?
That'd be something.
And we're going to sing Something Stupid. That's it's our show. It's our dedication to Ernie. It's our song. There you go. Exactly. We're going to do
She'd
it.
be like a blonde Billy Ray Cyrus.
Hold on, Victor just said something very tacky. What was that, my love? Frank Sinatra doesn't sing, he talks to music, Victor said.
That's not completely true.
Oh,
I take offense to that, you tell him.
He takes offense
You
to
ever
that.
meet him? No. What were you going to say, Deb?
I don't know. Victor's talking to me. Yes, dear?
Nobody can say anything because he would have killed him.
Oh, nobody can say anything to him because he would have killed him, he said. Victor? Oh, my God. He's terrible. Victor.
Sing us a little song, Jay.
What's that, Donna?
Sing us a song.
Yank? Is that what you called me?
I know. I said sing us a song. Since when does that say Jay?
No.
Yank.
It sounded like you said, sing us a song, Yank.
No.
No?
No, I only call Randy the Yank.
Oh, only Randy gets that privilege, huh?
Yes.
All right, okay. Well, that's fine. Completely fine. But, no, not to...
There's one you can sing. This has got the female part on it. You ready?
No,
Go, Jay.
I can't hear.
I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me. And if we go someplace to dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me.
See, that's how I'm learning my part. Aren't you proud of me?
Yes, I'm very proud of you. Very good.
See?
I've got a,
So
I don't
there.
know where it is. I don't even think I'd saved it. I was working on it last night. I was thinking about it, and I thought I had it down pretty well. But I need the music. If I had the music, it would have been a better piece.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Coming at you.
And I'll get it done.
Do they celebrate
Anybody
Halloween in
else?
the UK, Donna? I forget.
Yeah, but not really much. Not like you guys do.
And you guys, what do you mean, you guys? What does that mean, you guys?
You Yankee pants. I called it you then.
Pants, now we are we? Yankee pants. I got your Yankee pants. You little lass. I'll come over there and tan your little hide for you.
I got you.
Promises, promises.
Right.
Right, Donna?
It's like a
She's
little
picturing
Cuban
you-
leprechaun.
I got you, cute. Right here, pal. Right here. Come here. Come and get it.
Hey, how'd your show go tonight, Rick? How'd it go over there?
Whose show?
Yeah.
Your show with the...
Show.
I did a show?
Rick, he wants to know how your show went.
That's Debbie doing sign language, by the way.
I'm stupid. I'm not deaf.
I'm stupid, not deaf. Oh, Lord, you're terrible.
Probably shouldn't have said that. There's the soundbite. You're welcome.
Oh. Too funny. So how did the show go? I mean, I know you're here now and getting it all out, but how did it go?
Well, I think you just answered your own question.
Night talk
didn't
with
you?
Jay Sands.
Right. What was that, Debbie?
Victor wants to know how to get it in the den. It's Night Talk with Jay Sands. Yeah.
He's coming into the chat?
That's what we need.
No.
Is another dude in the chat.
No, he's going to be playing it. No. He doesn't. He's not signed up on Spreaker. He's going to listen to it on the overhead speakers in the den.
Oh, he's putting my songs up?
Oh, isn't that fancy?
No, the live show that we're on right now.
Oh, the
Actually,
show.
I'm
Oh,
simulcasting it, Victor.
Sorry for fucking your wife when you're not home, dude.
Oh, that was tacky. That was tacky.
Jesus, Rick. Oh, talk about nails on a chalk.
I was just imagining if I had overhead speakers, how cool that would sound blaring across the living room.
It's okay. We'll let it go. We'll
I'm going to play it back later on my 6x9s.
6x9s.
Blue truck in the yard.
What?
With the gate that flops down. Fucking redneck, you.
Gotta have something to haul my crosses back.
I'm telling you, and all those Mexicans too.
That's right.
Hey, what's wrong with hauling Mexicans?
Nothing at all. If you can do it.
They do really good work over here on my lawns.
They do.
Hello, Miss Daly. You owe us for the lawn work today. We're hungry. We know some sandwiches.
How much freedom of speech does Spreaker allow? I want to do a very offensive show soon, says Apocalypse.
Apocalypse is
Has he ever
horrible.
even cursed in his life? I don't know. You could
Good night, Holly.
use
Good
some
night,
show
Holly.
if you
He
tried.
doesn't let me curse. He's my boss, like my internet boss or something. Oh no, he's a pretty cool guy. He doesn't.
Apocalypse, can you say whatever the fuck you want? Oh, Jesus. Look at this. All right. Fuck you, America. Number one.
I was actually wondering that same thing, Johnny. I was going to ask that. He beat me to the punch.
What's that? Oh, Holly, what part of the bed do you sleep on? The end or the middle?
Now, do you see what I mean? Even Johnny Molson was in the show that night. Apocalypse was in the show that night. I go on to do some excellent intuitive readings on everybody on the show. They were blown away with them. Even Rick, blown away. Shocked. Rick said, I don't believe in this crap, but I got to tell you, I'm a little bit blown away here. And I did readings for Ernie and Donna, and the next night, on the 25th, I was running late. We had a big dinner, and I'll remember it just like it was yesterday. Came in here, jumped on Spreaker, ran over to Jay's show to see what was going on, and I heard her voice. I heard that that giggle that she does. And I thought, oh, crap. So I messaged her in the chat room. I said, what are you doing? Oh, there she is. She stalks me. And she tries to turn it on me. She stalks me wherever I go. Now, don't you remember the other night we learned that I was on Spreaker 2 years ago? 2 years ago. We learned that. That's a fact. Nobody else was on Spreaker in my hate group 2 years ago. I was on Spreaker 2 years ago. They will claim, well, we were here before she was. She stalked us over here. She followed us over here. That's another lie. They followed me over here. I was broadcasting on Spreaker 2 years ago. They weren't broadcasting on Spreaker 2 years ago. And I proved it because anything I say, I can prove. Anything I say, I can prove. Okay? God damn it, I'm on my show. What? Hello?
Yeah, Debbie, do you know anybody else from Texas? No, is Beth some girl from Texas?
No, she's not. She's in Oklahoma in Tulsa, Angel. Why? What's wrong? Is she bothering you?
Somebody from an 832 number keeps calling me, and it's a Texas number. I thought you might know the person.
832. Did you see what city it was, baby?
Hold on.
Okay.
I don't even know. I could look it up, right? But it's an 832 number. You have no idea who it might be or nobody.
832. I don't think I've ever taken a call from 832.
Hold on a second.
Uh-huh. He always puts me on hold. This is Chad, by the way.
Debbie?
Yes, dear.
What were you saying?
I said I don't know anybody from Texas with 832, Angel.
Okay. I guess it may be a commercial call or some crap like that, but Mr. Midnight Movie is coming on my show next week. He keeps getting blocked off on Blog Talk for some reason. He's going to be on my show next Wednesday.
Yeah, I know. I haven't talked to him today, but maybe I'll call him in a little while before he goes to bed or something, to see what's going on with him, because I know he was pretty upset about that bullshit.
Yeah, and I want to get this solution. I want to probably have a little bit more, man.
He's pretty picky about the shows he goes on.
He is? Okay.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can get him to come on your show. Everybody wants Mr. Solution.
Yeah, but he called me a smart kid, though, so I consider that a compliment, though, but it's all good if he doesn't want to come on, though.
I'll see if when I talk to him on Sunday, I'll see if he'll come on.
How are your shows been going?
Going great. Fighting off the haters over on Spreaker. They all came over there and started their bullshit with me on Spreaker.
How many viewers? What's your listenership?
I'm doing fine. I'm averaging up to, after archives and everything, about 100 views a show over there. So, whatever.
100 views every show?
Yeah, after the archives get, once they're all listened to by everybody that listens, it'll go up to 120 or something per show. So I'm not doing too bad. So.
That's excellent.
Yeah, but I'm having trouble with haters again. The same old, Todd Morris, Desert Rose, Bathtub Girl, Goofy Bone. That group is over there spreading a bunch of bullshit around about me.
And, okay, you're on iHeartRadio.
No, I was accepted to iHeartRadio, and then I turned down iHeartRadio because of what they were wanting me to do.
What do they want you to do?
They wanted me to take down every single show that I had up, take off all the copyrighted music, and put them back up. Do you know how long that would have taken? Do you know how long that would have took me to do that?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's ridiculous. So I said,
Glad you didn't make it, though. Damn.
I haven't.
If you're on iHeartRadio, I thought you would like to have a good 100,000 listeners, 1,000 listeners.
You don't get 100,000 listeners on iHeartRadio. With some of the garbage that I have seen them putting on iHeartRadio, I don't know if I want to be on there. They're putting people on that have shows that are 1 minute and 10 seconds long where they just go on there and bitch about something. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's not even shows. It's just some fat girl on a treadmill going, I'm on my treadmill and you should be too. It's just crazy stuff.
I'm trying to get off some real professional radio in the future. I'm getting some good guests, though. That's a good thing.
Yeah, you are. All right.
You're one of my best guests, by the way.
I was one of your best guests?
Yeah, not because of the viewership, but it's because of the conversation we had and everything like that, so it was good.
Was your listenership high that night?
Pretty high.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad I could help.
But you have to go?
Yeah, I'm going to go because I'm on my show right now.
Oh, okay. Have a good show.
All right, Chad. Take care, buddy. One of his best shows, he said, was when I was on there. So 2 years ago, on May the 7th of 2011, I did this. This was show number 1.
Makeup on and shit. And he's just like, the phone's for you, sir. He's just like bugging the main character. It's a trip. It's David Lynch. That's all you need to know.
Do you agree with me that a film is only as good as its director?
Not necessarily. No. Not
oh, come on, come on.
I think. Oh, there can be good films without where the director had really nothing to do with it. Because some films, a director is basically just there to babysit the actors.
Oh,
like a big
gosh.
film, like if you talk about like Spider-Man 3, like the director, he's just basically trying to babysit those actors on the set and keep them from crying.
So therein we prove another lie. How many lies is that tonight? I've got 22. 22 lies. And who lies? Trolls lie. They're trolls, people. You're buying into something and you're turning your back on somebody that was a good friend of yours. Somebody that had a lot of fun with you and enjoyed your company and laughed with you and cared about you and wanted a long relationship with you. But no, you had to go and believe the bullshit lies that the trolls fed you. You slurped up their crap just like a bowl of oatmeal. And now they're all cheering on Guy Shay. Goofy Bone goes, way to go, Guy Shay. Oh, and Guy has the nerve, after he's playing my song, my show last night, okay, which I'm all his content. I love it. He's playing this in the background. Because Rick said in my chat room, Guy said, I think it was Guy. or Rick. I don't remember. Enjoy your short-lived time here on Spreaker. I'm pretty sure it was Rick. I'd have to look it up because I keep my chat logs. Thank God I keep my chat logs. Let's see which one this one is. Let's see which one it is. Oh, this was last night. I didn't even look at it yet. I didn't even read it. But Rick was in my chat room saying that enjoy my short-lived time here on Spreaker.com, threatening that I won't be here long. And just before she, and we won't say her name, okay? No, I'll say her name. Before Desert Rose came in the picture and ruined everything because of her jealousy, because of her insecure bullshit, because of her... You know, I've encountered women like that all my life. All my life. It's always the big ones. It's always the heavy ones. Those are always the ones that hate my guts. It's always them. And frankly, if I weighed 300 pounds like she does, I would hate me too. No, I wouldn't hate me. I wouldn't. I take that back. I'm wrong. I would not hate me because I'm not that kind of person. I am not the kind of person that hates another woman. I've had girlfriends of mine that were gorgeous beyond belief, head over heels gorgeous over me. And I liked hanging out with them because I thought, well, they'll attract guys. You know what I mean? They'll be like a guy magnet. I would bring you on, but you know you're not going to talk about what I'm talking about. And you know who you are. So yeah, she ruined it. Because how can somebody be having this much fun one night and the next night it all gets shot to hell? Well, you did it. No, I got upset. And I stand by my upsetness. Because if you knew the bullshit that this bitch is going to start throwing at people, and she won't do it herself. No. She's Miss Toot Sweet to the public. He is the way she acts. Okay? Trust me. She knows what she's doing. Okay? Because I know you, Jew. I'll show you the readings that I did. Shut up.
3, 1. Coming up next.
I hate that intro. Don't pay for an intro, people. One color at a time. I'll get to the readings, which are really funny.
I need to know.
No. Never did the ghost hunting thing. Listen. Never. In
Well,
fact,
Debbie,
I don't know.
Debbie,
Uh-huh.
Debbie, can you do a reading on Rick? Debbie does readings, Rick. If you let her know your birthday, she'll give you a little... Yeah, I'd be curious to hear
yes,
the reading was.
Please.
Oh, I don't need your birthday. I just need the month and the day. I don't need the year. This is a reading from a real intuitive. Okay? Check it out. And if you want to hear her reading, go listen to the night after I was on the show. She goes, I'm getting metal or plastic or what do you do for a living? Ugh. Just the month and the day.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is.
Wait
a minute. No, shh. What are you gonna? So, what do you mean read me? What do you mean you're gonna predict my future? You're gonna tell me
No,
what
nobody can tell the
connect me with a
future.
loved one. What?
Nobody can tell the future. Wait a minute, my daughter just said something that made a lot of sense. When they were talking to her the night after this, when she invaded my friends, they go, oh yeah, Debbie was on the show last night. We had a ball. She did readings. And she goes, well, I do readings. I mean, doesn't that right there show you the jealousy? I do readings. No, you don't. You're just trying, again, to be me, and you'll never be me. Tomorrow morning when you wake up in the mirror and look in the mirror, you'll still be a fat, round-faced, Mexican, jealous bitch. I know you did, Jew. Nobody
So
can
what are
tell
you
the
going to
future.
do? What do
She's
you
got a
mean you
gift.
get
She's got a psychic
Just going to
ability.
tell you what kind of prick you are.
Yeah, no, see, that's the thing. I want something that people don't, you know what I mean? We all know I'm a prick. What the fuck is it? You don't have to
I
get
really
psychic
would
on
like
that.
to know. Wait a minute. How could you have had a nice skirt steak? Skirt steak is crappy meat. It's what they make fajitas out of. Are you joking me? It's like rubber. There's no way that you had a fine skirt steak this evening. That's hogwash. Oh, the day and the month of your birth.
All right, January 2nd.
I knew it. I was going to say January the 2nd. No, I'm joking.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm
right.
January
If I
the
said I like
10th,
crackers,
brother.
you're gonna be like, I knew it.
Cold-hearted bastards. That's what.
Capricorns are the best, man.
Go ahead, Debbie.
January the 2nd, huh? Hold on. I've got to get something. Yeah, I've got to get something. I didn't even light one of my candles.
Oh,
So I'm getting a half-assed reading here.
No.
No, you're getting a half-lit reading.
Yeah.
You are the kind of person that you always present a stern face to the world. You are very stoic. And you actually, your persona,
Non gratis.
Non-gratis. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Your persona that you hide is very animated and happy, but you present to the world a very stoic front. You always have a sense that you're being judged by somebody, and I'm not saying that you are paranoid, but you always feel like you're being judged everywhere you go. You walk into a party, you're like, yeah, I know that guy's checking me, whatever. You just feel like that. And you are very sensitive, but the only people that know this are either your very close friends, maybe one of your parents, or your spouse. You could never, ever, ever, ever take credit you could never credit anybody for you are successful at life, correct? I'm feeling that. Hang on a minute. Let me kill the feed. Yourself. And if you fail in life, you never blame anybody for that. You don't. Shut up. Oh, I blow these people away with these readings that night, Jew. How are you?
I'm full of skirt steak.
Ugh. There's no way that was tender.
It was tender?
There's no way.
Oh, no, it was tender.
Did you cook it?
No.
Oh.
Some short Korean guy.
You can get real Korean food where you live?
Yeah.
Really?
Lots of it.
Did you know that I play a lot of ties in online pool, POOL?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Are you getting any good at it?
Thursday.
What do you mean Thursday? Oh, by Thursday you will be?
No, Thursday. That's the day of the week.
Right. Are you serious?
Goes with the information I just gave you.
That's exactly the day my son was born.
How about that?
Even on a Thursday. Well, the thing about you is you have a genuine love for people, okay? Now, you do. Now, see, no, you wear a false facade on the outside.
I still found that funny.
You do.
A lot of other people find it funny, too.
You are not a person to back down. You will not back down to any situation. And
that's true.
If anybody challenges your reputation or anybody that you care for, meaning your family, you would almost draw a gun. You wield a shield and you draw a sword at that time. You protect your young like a ravaged bear.
Okay.
Fairness flows through your blood. and you live your life. If I was going to give one word, see, I get words. I'm getting ethics. One thing that you base your life on is your high set of ethical standards. Okay?
Okay.
Now, you're a romantic at heart. You're a sucker for a good love song. You don't particularly care for the background that you came from. You simply adore children. Even if you don't know it, you adore them. And you make what's called an exceptional parent. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it. I knew that you were a badass parent. I knew it. And I got that. You like to live... you are... I'm getting the word robust. I think you like to live very... you would have made a great king. You are the kind of person that you have an air. Now, when I first read my daughter, I kept getting an air of royalty. In all of her life, I have called her the queen. I've called her Queenie. And the very first thing I read when I actually read her mantra, which is, if I knew the exact moment that you were born, the year, the second that you were born, the stars all align, and it tells the story of your life, and it absolutely has nailed everybody I've ever done. I shocked Bill Wagner one night when I did his, when he actually, because I have to pay for it. But if I offer to do it, then I offer to do it. But the first line of my daughter's mantra said, you carry an air of regalness to you, and you do the same thing. You have an air of royalty to you. And I bet you, if you were to do your genealogy, Jew, that there's royalty in your bloodline.
I couldn't say.
I guarantee you there is. But you are a softy at heart. You're an absolute softy. But you come across as the facade that you give to the public on the internet is absolutely bipolar to what you are in real life. You are extremely talented, and you are extremely forward-thinking. You live large, you dream large, and believing in your abilities is what makes your goals come true. You never fail to achieve. You are... When you were younger, you were the one with the plan. You were the head guy in the group. You were the one that said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to this house, and we're going to throw eggs at it. Then, Billy, you run left, I run right, you go down the center. You were the one that had the plan. Am I right? You were like the top cat. Right?
That sounds about right.
I know it. I can feel that about you. And you are the kind of person that does not go along with, you are not a member of a group. You consider yourself, you stand alone in anything you do. You don't go along with a group of people. You're like, fuck them. You know, you're very, very, you have an entrepreneurial, I'm writing down the words that I'm getting. You are an entrepreneur at heart. You are extremely financially successful, regardless of what the Skype assholes say about you. You are financially successful. I know what you do for a living. They don't know what you do for a living. They think you do, and I know how much you make. Because I remember about a year ago when I tried to hire you, you barely had time to take me as a client. And you live by the mantra that a healthy mind makes a healthy body. You keep your mind clear, and although you're not a Jesus freak, you've got your own religious beliefs that you keep very, very well hidden, is what I'm saying. And you are always funny, you're upbeat, you're an enthusiastic person, but you love playing the bad guy on Blog Talk Radio. And you laugh harder at yourself on things that you've done on there.
It's theater of the mind. I keep telling people that, but they don't get it.
I can see you've got a smile on your face right now. And you know the thing about it is the first time I saw the Jew on webcam, he comes on and he goes, I'm just a big fat Jew. And he started laughing. He had no shirt on. And I was like, oh, my God, look at you. It was so cute.
Wearing a shirt.
I don't think you... No, you had on...
I was wearing a muscle shirt.
A muscle shirt, that's right. You had on very little to nothing on. And
it's 100 degrees out, wasn't it?
I think so. But he was so happy. And he has got the most beautiful child that thinks he walks on water. I mean, it's daddy this, daddy that, daddy, 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 daddy. And
Daddy took away the soda.
When?
About 2 hours ago.
Oh, dear.
Even though it wasn't diet soda, it had NutraSweet in it.
Oh, boy. Not good.
I take that away immediately.
Well, that's good, though. You know, and you're the kind of person, you're a lot like me in a lot of ways. You get bamboozled by some little bullshit thing that you've said before. Like the night you were talking about something about your child. They took that and they fucking ran with it.
Oh, they're all animals.
They're idiots.
They don't even know what they're dealing with. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. And they came on Spreaker.com, which I was having a blast, which is what I was proving tonight. They were loving me. And the next night, guess who happens with all the shows on Spreaker happens to pick out Jay Sand's show to come to? Guess who? Desert Rose. And,
oh, yeah, I did see her.
And she... When I come on the line, they say, call in, Debbie. We want to get this straight. What's wrong with y'all? She hung up.
Well, she's on meds.
Yeah, she's bipolar. That's a fact. She's admitted that several times. And
she's on some really strange medication.
And she's very mean to me. Very mean. She has got this whole group after me now. I mean, just hateful as hell. And have got these people on Spreaker now believing. Do you remember all those fake bullshit videos that Wild Goose did on me and Dr. Herpington did? Remember?
Yes.
They're all spliced and it would say crazy things. They've got these people on Spreaker believing those videos. Oh, we've seen the videos, Debbie. We've seen the videos. I'm like, oh, God, no.
Yeah, but I enjoy that.
Why don't I enjoy that?
Because you got to see the humor in it, especially if they buy stuff that normal people wouldn't buy. Look, you're not playing with people on BTR or Spreaker seems to have a little bit of elevation, but it's not as elevated as you might think. But you're not dealing with people who are thinking. They're just not thinking.
No, they're not.
They're reacting. I call them human doings, not human beings.
No, you're exactly right. And I have just recently learned exactly what you're talking about thinking. Because when people do things, they don't, and it's not really thinking. I know you're thinking, but you're not thinking ahead, is what he means. When I tell my daughter, you weren't thinking, Heather, you weren't thinking, what I mean is you're not thinking ahead.
Right, it's a chess game. It really is a mental chess game.
In chess, the reason I'm good at chess, and yes, I said that, I'm good at chess, is when I go to make a move, I don't worry about that move. I worry about what my opponent can do after I make that move. And that's what these people aren't doing. They all decided to turn their backs on me. Every one of them are now saying all these horrible things. And, they now hate my guts. Which, I am a female and I am sensitive too. So there's a difference between us. You know what I mean? I'm more the tee-hee-hee crying little girl type of person. I've always been that way. But they're attacking.
Well, let them.
Mm-hmm. And that goddamn Goofy Bone is on there talking to his 3 listeners every night saying, Debbie Daly is an old lady that everybody hated on Blog Talk Radio. And I'd left Blog Talk Radio to get away from Debbie Daly. No, Goofy, you left Blog Talk Radio because you were 404'd.
Yeah, exactly. But people change the story all the time.
I don't.
They don't want to tell you. Well, case in point, our friend Perry Steele, when he went off the air for that period of time, he told everybody it was over a disagreement in payment. Well, that's a lot of crap. He got slapped on the wrist because of what he did. But wasn't over any payment. He just didn't want to tell people the truth, which was that he did something really stupid, and they called him out on it.
Tell him what he did. Tell him what he did.
Well, he called my parents at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and he really did. I heard the recording because he played it live on.
Oh, yeah, he did. But see, they don't have my phone number. They don't have my info. They and really, why involve people? My parents don't even know what BTR is. Hell, my mother can't even figure out how to operate the damn remote control for the cable box.
Right.
After 5 years, still can't figure it out.
And they called this guy's mom, and they say, "Hey."
Yeah, but they didn't pick up because they never.
Right. That is a message.
They never pick up calls they don't know who it is.
Exactly. Thank God.
So unless there's a caller ID that gives them info as to who it is, they'll ignore it. And the phone doesn't ring anyway at that time of night.
And here's this group of black people. One of them's drunk off his ass, going, "Hey, your son is a troll," and what all did they say? I forgot now.
Well, he was talking about he wanted to fuck my mother, and he wanted to rape Bill Wagner's mother, if he could figure out who Bill Wagner's mother was.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but I think that's crossing the line. I think anytime you go over into somebody's real personal life. Oh, and Guy Shea, this big freaking hard-nosed bully on Spreaker.com is now giving out my real name and talking about my husband, talking about my daughter, talking about this. And I'm thinking, okay, fine, whatever you think you've got to do, buddy. Dedicating shows to me, calling me every name in the book. And all he's going off is what they told him.
Well, you got to understand something. What I do is I say things that are ridiculous just to see what people will come up with, what they'll do. Mm-hmm. They think they know where I live. They think they know who I am. They think they have all the information, but they don't. But that's okay. But even if they did, so what?
Send you a Christmas card, right?
Well, look, I've had people threaten, we're going to call CPS, or that one idiot at Linda from Austin. She threatens that she told somebody she was going to have my carry permit revoked. Ugh. Well, now, I wouldn't even know how one would go about that.
Is that maniac still on Blog Talk Radio?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, there's some crazy fucking women over there.
But how would you go about doing something like that? I mean, just think about this logically. How would you go about having somebody's carry permit revoked? What would you have to lie to say in order to get that done?
No, look, I'll show you, look. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. How may we should you call it? Yes, I'd like to speak to an investigator. Thank you. Investigator. Hi. Yeah, listen, I know a guy on the internet that you need to take away his ACL, his license to carry.
That's not up to them. That's the sheriff.
But I'm saying, think about how fucking stupid that sounds. And why would you like for us to take that away? Because he's mean? What? Lady, get away. I mean, they're so stupid that the things that they say that they're going to do are so stupid. It's ridiculous.
Well, that idiot has claimed to have called the FBI. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, what would that conversation be like?
Yeah, here we go. Let's do another one. Watch. FBI. Hi. Yeah, my name is Catgirl23, and right. I got trolled. You got what?
Well, there's this Jew.
Yeah, there's this Jew, and he's really mean to me. Lady, you've got the wrong number. I mean, think about how stupid they sound.
You know what I think they do? I think that she goes and submits complaints online.
Oh, Jesus, are you kidding? I bet you they laugh at her. Did you know that when people say, like this new Guy Shea bully's going, oh, Debbie's crazy, she's crazy, she's crazy. You want me to show you a real crazy lady on Blog Talk Radio, a real one, Jew?
Just one?
The one I found. Check this chick out. She's no longer on there, but check this out.
Oh, I've heard this before, yeah.
The messages. Do you understand me?
Check her out.
All the tools are there. If only you'd listen to me. But you see, you never will. You'd rather pay somebody $550 an hour for something you can do yourself.
This lady's crazy.
Well, thanks for listening. Deliver that message for me, by the way.
What?
Stop calling me. You're not my friend. You never have been.
She's nutsoid.
I've done shows just like this.
She goes crazy.
But was lacking the energy.
She calls the BWC an internet watchdog group. I swear to God she does. She goes, and the BWC, the Bill Wagner crew, is in my chat room tonight. They're an internet watchdog group, okay? You don't fuck with the Bill Wagner crew. And I'm like, oh my God. I think she says it about right here. You got to hear this.
Real. Maybe a little off my rocker, but they know I speak the truth.
Here it is.
Let me tell you a little story about them. Okay?
No, it's right here.
Powerful internet watchdog group.
Wait, let me go back. Wait.
So, it's this man's.
Listen.
But the BWC gave me all kinds of information. They're a very large, very powerful internet watchdog group. And they cannot stand frauds.
Now, don't y'all get it, people? They trolled her, and she believed the troll. That's what trolls do. They troll you about people, and then you believe it, and you're the idiot, like when they trolled Bathtub Girl. They would tell Bathtub Girl all these crazy things about me. Debbie wants to kill your kids, she'd say. And then she would go on other shows and go, Debbie Daly tries to kill my kids. I mean, y'all are buying these trolls' bullshit, and that's what makes you look so stupid.
Well, and the problem is they're also weak-minded. They believe just about anything they hear.
Yeah, they're not using their own judgment, because when they were judging me for themselves, they all loved me. And I don't mean love, but they all liked me. We laughed. We got along. It was ha, 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 ho, ho, ho. Come and be on my show, Debbie. I was on theirs. They were on mine. But all of a sudden, when that stupid bitch, and she's getting the last laugh on you people, she's going, ha, 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 they believed us. And one of them even goes, oh, we've seen all the videos on YouTube, Debbie. They are so goddamn spliced, it's ridiculous. And so I had to show these people how you splice. And so I did it earlier on my Audacity. I made a file that said, I started off just saying this. Hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daly Show. I tell you what, I hate my kid. Okay, I hate my kids. But before I did that, what it said was this, right here. This is, okay, I just took off all the what do you call it, the adjustments. Here's what it said. Hi guys, and welcome to the Debbie Daly Show. I tell you what, I hate when I have to come on here early because my goddamn kids are so perfect that I just don't want to leave them. And I spliced it to say, I hate my kids. That's what they do, and it sounds perfect, actually. It sounds great. I've done it before to Mr. Midnight Movie. I said, I want you to say on the internet, on my show right now, that I hate I am not a pedophile. And he goes, I am not a pedophile. And I made it say, and he goes, I am not a, and I made it say this, watch how easy it is to do. And he goes, I am a pedophile. Well, I did it wrong. I made it to where he goes, I am a pedophile. That's what splicing is, people. It's very easy to do. Right, Jew?
Yeah, well, tell me, and what of Mr. Solutions?
Do what?
What has become of Mr. Solutions? He seems to have disappeared.
No, he was on my show 2 nights ago.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about last night and today. Where is he?
I don't know. everybody's pointing fingers at him for doing the 404 job on Mr. Midnight Movie. Who do you think it was? Because somebody had to have made a complaint.
I don't know. It just seems very interesting that he's not anywhere to be found.
Well, I mean, I owned up to everybody I made complaints on and got 404'd. And I think if he did, it would be big of him to come to belly up and say, do you think that Brown Beasley was being honest when he said that he did it?
No.
Would you know if Brown Beasley did that?
Would he tell me?
Yeah, I guess. I thought y'all were buddies.
No, I don't think he would tell me.
Well, it makes perfect sense. The night before on Mr. Midnight Movie's show, Mr. Solution threatened he said, if you talk about my real name, you will get 404'd. And then the next night, he talked about his real name. I don't know what his real name is. I don't even care to know what his real name is. He made a big stink about it, and then he got 404'd.
But I don't know if I believe that was the recording that he was playing where he said his name. I don't believe that was him.
It's really... it's a hard call. I'll tell you that. It's a very hard call.
There's some mannerisms in there that I don't hear him ever make. I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. I don't have the video clip. I don't have the audio clip that Brian was playing, but
I do.
But if you listen to it, the person talking says, in the middle of in the middle of thought, he says, and I've never heard Solutions do that.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. But then why did they get 404'd?
I don't know. Maybe there's another reason.
But what reason could that be? They didn't break any of the TOU.
Well, maybe just the fact that they were putting somebody's name out there was enough.
I don't know. But somebody with 4,700 shows a day, somebody's got to bring their attention to that.
Right. But if you have, let me give an example. If you have somebody like whoever made that recording, whoever said that was their name, you gotta ask yourself, who was that? And if they did give their name, then they outed themselves. They've already put themselves out there. So why should it be a problem if that's
Mr.
in the
Midnight
public
Movie?
domain?
Mr. Midnight Movie wants us to play it.
But that's in the public domain. In other words, if somebody on a Blog Talk Radio show says, this is my name, then they've put themselves out there already. It's in the public domain. There shouldn't be any problem with playing that.
I don't think that, number one, Mr. Midnight Movie, a Bathtub Girl is wrong about playing somebody's intellectual property. It's not. It's the property of Blog Talk Radio. If you read the terms of service, here's what we're talking about. Let's take a listen. I have Mr. Midnight Movie's permission to play his show.
The white people with racial resentments and are uptight about rice, why are they afraid to tell Perry Steele? But they cozy up to him.
This
like
is
Uncle
what...
Remus or
He's a likable person.
Oh, I can't stand her voice. This is supposedly what got Mr. Midnight Movie 404, this show right here.
Let's see.
Well, it functions.
Let's go back.
Sorts. I mean, there's a lot of people who are trolling Blog Talk Radio. I can give you numerous examples of that.
No one likes you.
Then why don't I run when the light is turned on? I don't run.
You need a live, bitch. Why don't you let me reach in between your gap and
you're the one that's on CTR in the morning to live wild.
You really are insane.
I don't know where he played it. Damn it, I never can find it. I looked for it the other day, too. Let me look. I think it's right here.
We've had quite a number of people on Blog Talk Radio either fall on their own sword or disappear by somebody else's.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat place. I tell you, you've got to be thick-skinned to be on there. You've got to be thick, freaking skin. That's what I'll say right now, because it is full of some mean people.
No, every room of the house. I could see you just sort of excreting just a little tiny bit everywhere.
No.
You don't.
Hershey squirts.
Yeah, and he got so mad.
Do I owe you anything?
That's his reaction.
Right. Do I owe you anything for you doing it?
Whoa, that's bullshit. That is fucking bullshit.
Fuck. Anybody 21 years old has had some pussy already. I'm trying to help you.
That's not true.
Oh, I can't stand when they have her on that show. She talks so freaking much. She has something to say about everything. I'm like, shut up. I think it was it during the middle of the show or towards the end of the show when he played that audio? Do you remember?
Towards the end.
Towards the end. Okay, let's go towards the end. Here we go.
You are trying to
It talks about sexuality in the Bible. In the Song of Solomon.
I'm sorry, she never shuts up, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to hear anybody when she's on there. That is Bathtub Girl.
Come on now.
Intelligent people are full of doubt.
Okay. Nobody.
Oh, he's quoting someone else because he doesn't have an original thought in his head.
You are
to
not
Mr. McHuggs.
So please slink back into mediocrity and obscurity.
Aren't the Dugars Christians? They've got 19 kids.
No, you were even on the Perry show one time.
Oh my God.
You wanted my phone number numerous times.
I'm sorry.
He was doing the right thing.
So siding in with the communists, which perhaps they are today, is the right thing. And no black by the way.
Anything. You'll make friends with anybody to get those white.
Some things.
Yes,
you
let's
just
hear
keep attacking me on the same thing.
I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to get you some pussy.
Dude.
It isn't a.
Everybody hates that woman. She's almost. Don't you think she's almost as bad as Cunt Girl 23?
Well, no, she doesn't do things that one does, but.
Well, she's stupid, but I mean, at least Catgirl's intelligent. But this one's just a dumb, loudmouth.
No,
hick.
I wouldn't say she's intelligent either.
No, she's a hick from Oklahoma that's real loud.
Let me say, I am also.
She what?
She's from West Virginia.
This girl, Fat Tub Girl?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Linda.
Oh yeah. Fat Tub is from Oklahoma. She's an Okie.
And they will pull you over. They don't discriminate. They don't care who you are or what you to them.
There it is. They're playing it. This is it. So let me go back just a wee bit. This is what we're talking about. This is what was played.
Right. They played it several times because I kept saying that this was not him.
Y'all be the judge on whether or not you think this is my co-host on Sunday night, Mr. Solution.
The nigga, and I will say it. That's what they think.
I mean, you're supposed to be my brother, Beasley, man. Come on now. Come on now, Beasley. You can't tap me on a white man show. Come on now, man.
I can do what I want to do. I'm trying to get you some pussy.
Oh, be my brother, man. You can't test the views I have and stop being an asshole, dude.
I'm not being an asshole. I'm trying to get you some pussy. I'm trying to make. No good deed goes unpunished. What do you say, Jew? No good deed goes unpunished.
Well, I'm more interested in the cleanliness of this woman. And how did you get her to start taking her clothes off?
Bitcoin.
I mean, she was interested in me, and she liked how I looked, man.
Well, but
now,
was there commitment involved at all?
Where were you? Were you
Pull
in
out
your
a gun
bedroom?
and then
Were
they
you
don't.
in a hotel? Where were you?
I was at my house.
And so, this is somebody you've known for a long time, or?
Yeah, about 2-3 years. Yeah.
Damn, it goes
So
away
how did
quick.
you go about? How did you?
Old movie. That.
You didn't even get close. You didn't even touch her. You didn't even finger.
It's like everybody's talking at once or something. It gives me a headache.
They always do that.
Ugh, I can't stand that. My shows aren't like that unless I have the Skype assholes on there. That's horrible. But anyway, I was trying to find the goddamn audio that they played, which I heard it. I only went back like 3 minutes. Let me see.
Finger? Did you stick your face in the pussy?
You know what?
That's just uncalled for.
A second. No, don't be so very good.
Like, so did anyone have any intelligence?
Reread the Song of Solomon.
Or is it going
either?
Okay. Nobody.
Oh,
cares.
he's quoting someone else because he doesn't have an original.
19.
Her.
Whatever.
My dad had her.
Right, and she
Your dad's a whore then.
I can't
Yeah,
stand
he
her.
was.
I just can't stand her voice. She's so loud. She's like, my dad had her. It just, can't stand her. Ugh. It's just her voice just is like chalk. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Ugh.
It's not pleasant.
No, it's not at all. It's horrible. So they play this piece of audio from another Blog Talk show, and where they introduce him as Mr. Blank Blank. Okay, they give out this name. And they say that the voice is that of Mr. Solution. And I wish to frick they would shut that bloviating thing up and let it play. It was right here.
It's okay. Can we get her phone number so we can get Chad some pussy?
I'll just turn it down. And when I hear it play, we can talk. So
What's wrong with getting some pussy, my brother? At least get
now, these places that you go to eat this steak at, is this like one of those real nasty Thai places, or is it a nice restaurant?
No, it's a food court above a Korean market, a big one.
And you trust that? For
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I can see the kitchen. Why not?
I don't know.
They're not gonna, he's done doing it at this point. You're gonna go forward prior to that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But, so it was, you ate Korean, and it was skirt steak, which all the time I've ever bought skirt steak, it's been just like rubber.
I don't know, this is really nice.
Well, what is skirt steak? Where does it come from? What is it?
It's not it's a cut. It's just a thin cut of steak.
Right, but where is it from? Is it from,
You mean what part of the cow?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
She makes
I don't know.
herself relevant.
No, you were even on the Perry show one
Ugh,
time.
she is so insane.
My phone number.
So Perry bows out of Blog Talk Radio, and I understand, I haven't heard it, but I understand he gave this big sob story. You know, I've been betrayed by Brown Beasley. Yeah, and I'm thinking, yeah, how does it feel, buddy? How do you like those apples, huh?
No, you know what it is?
It was payment time. It was the first of the month.
Well, yeah, but it's really, it really strains when he says something like this. The Skype assholes get on calling her, talking to him. And
what did he say? Because I haven't listened to it.
They're just rolling him around. You know, they're just making nice with him. And then they get somebody on there, and Snake says, "Wow, you know, Perry, I got Bippy from, she's from Denmark."
Say hi to Perry. Say hi to Perry, right?
And Perry says, "No way! Oh man!" And then when Bippy gets on, and he talks to her for 30 seconds. I don't know, hippie Bippy, who cares?
The drunk old lady.
When he talks to her for 30 seconds, he says, "Well, damn." He says, "Ain't Denmark outside of London?"
Shit. Are you kidding? No way.
Yeah, it gets better. Then when, what language you speak out there? And she says, somebody says Danish. And he starts going into a thing about how he likes to eat Danish in the morning.
Oh, no.
So really what you're dealing with is an idiot.
An idiot. Oh, my God. That's
Right.
sad. That's embarrassing.
Okay, and you want to know what the it's sad, but it's also the funniest part of all of this is I didn't do anything to this guy. But he blamed me for everything. If his Skype failed,
I never could get that
him
either.
off,
I could never figure out what you did to Perry Steele either.
No, I never knew. It was I never did anything, but he thought I did. I don't know. But he's blamed me for hacking his computer. I'll tell you what, if I had $1 for every time somebody claims I hacked their computer, I wouldn't have to work.
I don't know. People are just, they blow my freaking mind, Jew. The way they just do. They blow my mind.
And then there was some guy, I forget what's he called himself, Atomic Ray. who comes on and says he's got information about me. And I'm not the brains of the operation. My brother, my older brother, with the PhD, he's the one that's really behind all of the torment on Blog Talk. I'm just a sort of know-nothing drone that fronts for him. And my son is not my son. It's really my older brother's with the PhD. It's his son.
What?
I just claim he's my son.
Are you kidding me?
No, I laugh my ass off when I hear this kind of
Man,
stuff.
people really reach out there. I mean, they really
And I'm thrilled with
fucking
it. Listen,
reach.
the more they
It's
make stuff up, the
ridiculous.
happier I am.
Some of the bullshit that these mullets on Spreaker are believing, oh, you really got to go check. I'll give you the link to this guy's show so you can get a good laugh out of it. Now, Jew, you've known me for a long freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen me in my good times and my bad times. Am I a hateable, stupid, dislikable bimbo bitch?
No. But I love it when they hate me.
Well, I don't. I don't like it. I guess I'm just sensitive or something, and you're just not. But I
No, they learned on Jay's show yesterday. They tried to rile me or get me upset about whatever, and boy, they didn't realize what they were getting into.
Was I there? No, I wasn't.
No.
I don't go to
I
Jay's
was-
show anymore because he won't even call me out in the chat room anymore. He's such a sellout to this bullshit. And they're going to all find out in the end, wow, we were getting trolled. You're getting trolled, people. You're getting trolled, and the trolls are laughing that you're believing their stuff. They're laughing. They're laughing. Goose was actually laughing about it. He goes, he believed us.
Yeah, it's really stupid. The things that people buy, the things that people believe is really interesting. But the stuff that people make up is even better.
Oh, yeah.
They believe it. They think it's true.
Were you ever a pedophile?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Or my older brother with the PhD?
No, they say that I'm a pedophile, by the way. Have you heard that one?
No, I mean, they've claimed, I've heard people make all sorts of claims about me. Hell, I was called a pedophile yesterday because some girl was on Jay's show who was 19 years old, and I asked her to send me naked pics.
Oh, yeah, you're a pedophile then. She came on my show pretending to be a 3-year-old, and they said I was a pedophile.
Yeah, but what's wrong with 19-year-old? What's wrong with naked pics of a 19-year-old?
I think the legal age is 17, right?
I don't know, but I'm sure that the legal age is 18 in any state.
But you can let them say all kinds of nasty shit about her, and they don't bring that up, do they?
I'm saying, this is some, what was her name?
Holly.
She's got some, Holly. She kept saying that I was creepy. I'm thinking, well, what's wrong with that? That's pretty normal.
She's quite the little thing on Spreaker.
She's not too smart, and she lacks logic. I said that yesterday.
She pretty much just goes along with Dino and Jay and Rick and anything they say. If they were to say that I was Santa Claus, she'd believe them.
Right, and they kept coming. They kept coming to me, and they all of them were coming at me at once, and I said, "Oh, that's fine." You know, they seemed pretty upset.
Yeah, they're like that. But have you ever listened to their archives, the way they talk to Holly?
No.
Oh, really? You should.
No, I've never talked to her before.
Well, Rick did a little spin-off on her called something about something. I don't remember. It was pretty inflammatory. And this one person on Spreaker is calling me a pedophile, just like Chris Topp.
Yeah, who's that?
He's a guy on Spreaker that thinks he's the absolute end-all, be-all to everything.
So is Spreaker, and how does she get on iHeartRadio? First of all, she can't say a sentence without using the word like, and not the proper way.
I have no idea. Some of the things they have on iHeartRadio, I could not believe. I mean, I'll send you a link to one of Desert Rose's show, and you're going to go, what?
Well, she does some pretty stupid. She's not exact. Desert Rose is not the smartest woman out there.
But when I have shows, I remember you telling me one time that when I was talking to Vince, that you felt like it was one of the only times that you were listening to real talk radio because of me and Vince, the way we would go back and forth.
Yeah, and Vince does that with me too. Vince is a good, is someone good to have around.
Yeah. And we did a show together on Spreaker 2.5 years ago. Listen. I think this is
I love you, Vince. I just love you to death. You are just, you're the ultimate cool guy. I
Wait,
love
here
you
it
so
is.
much. You are.
This is the other show we did on
Pick up on
Spreaker.
it, shit. He's just like, the phone's for you, sir. He's just like bugging the main character. It's a trip. It's David Lynch. That's all you need to know.
Do you agree with me that a film is only as good as its director?
Not necessarily. No. Not
Oh, come on, come on.
I think. Oh, there can be good films without where the director had really nothing to do with it. Because some films, a director is basically just there to babysit the actors. I'm like a big fan.
And they're all saying that I followed them over to Spreaker. People, I was on Spreaker 2 years ago, broadcasting on Spreaker.
Well, apparently I've had a Spreaker account for some time. I just never used it.
Mm-hmm.
So is Spreaker the place to be?
No. I was wrong.
So where should we be?
And I brought all these people over here. You would
All
not.
right, we'll leave them over there. That's fine. So where should you be?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about doing my own network again. My own thing with 128-bit rate sound.
Well, that's what... but couldn't you just buy that as a cloud service?
That's what I'm saying. Just do your own thing. Just do your own gig. Don't be on anybody else's gig because there's too many haters. And I don't care. I'll call them haters. That's what they do. They hate. That's all they do is hate. You can't tell me that Guy Shea is not a hater with what he said about me yesterday, the day before, the day before, the day before, and the day before. He's obsessed with me. He's become obsessed. I'm all he talks about. He's listening right now. Although I banned him from my chat room. I think what I'm going to do right now, just to be a good what do you call it? A good sport. I'm going to go unban everybody that's banned from my chat room to let them come back in there and show their ugly selves again. Because they're like, we were just in there asking normal questions. No, they weren't. They were calling me names. They were calling, banned users. Okay, the following are now unbanned. What's Hot on Spreaker, DJ Ben Clark, Guy Shea, and I never had Rick banned. And I will unban Danny Boy, and that's it. That's about all I have. Well, I have Pimp Daddy Joel P. and Mekazawa band because they're in there just lying and just being insane, and that's about it, really, to tell you the truth. So there you go. You're unbanned, so y'all can come back in there and throw all your bullshit around if you want to. I wish Mr. Midnight Movie would tell me where that audio part of that show was because I'd love to play it. I think if I just let it go, but I can't stand her freaking voice.
When you hit it, he replayed it several times in a row because I told him flat out that is not.
All right, I'm going to try one more time. But I'm sorry about her voice, people, but it just goes with the territory.
Just tell them all kinds of dumb shit because we think they're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
That's the brother code with white girls. Just tell the dumb bitch anything.
Is Mr. Mandela a role model or a criminal?
Criminal.
Yeah.
The terrorist.
You got to go before that.
Before this?
Yeah, this is something.
I've heard of that before.
The neighbors.
I don't even know if
my
the point.
clean it.
Yes.
Didn't clean.
And Brian is at $39 a month.
You guys did not know this history.
Yeah. It'll be written by Chad. Newt Gingrich has
Hi, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
I can't find on your show when you did that because all my audience is wanting to know what the F we're talking about.
He plays it a couple of times. He's right in the show. Jewish producer comes on, I think in the second hour.
Oh, that's right. You told me the second hour. That's when I found it that night. I went to the second hour. That's right. Because your show was a total of 3 hours, and he came in about right here. Let's check this out. Hold on.
Anyway, folks, yeah. Can't believe you don't believe that. And I just...
Okay, it was right before that. You're right. It's right there. Okay, this is what we're talking about, guys out there that are listening. They play this audio. David, I can't pick up your call, darling. You're just too young for my show, Angel. You're 13. I mean, I adore you, but they're trying to call me a pedophile, dear, here on the network.
Some women deserve to be violated, deserve to be harmed, deserve to be hurt. And that's from his own words. And truly, the Nation of Islam, they're not a violent group when it comes.
It was before that, I think.
Okay.
Or they're not supposed to be. I mean, they say they're not, but then there's people like him.
Well, he suffers, I think...
Here we go.
I'm listening.
Yeah, and basically...
You get real quiet.
Isn't who he says he is. And like I said, if you listen to the show, and I'll put that up in my chat room, not today, but next week, and probably maybe even put it on my show. And, yeah, people will be able to make the decision for themselves. But this is definitely Mr. Solution. That is his voice. It's who he is. I might even give the show that he was on. Let me see if I...
Had you already played it? Because you said you're already talking about it.
Okay, it's before this.
All right, dear.
It's after this. It's after this.
It's after this. Okay. So should I let it roll?
Yeah, we'll speed it up a little bit.
Let's see if I can go to another blog talk page.
Maybe
and see if I can
JP could, in your archives, patch together a number of his sayings that he's said. I know he's quite... Really is a person
it's after that.
occupation
Okay.
is debate. That's the...
Okay, folks. I have found the show. Let's see if it is
after
him.
that.
Okay.
And because...
Okay. So that
and this may or may not be Mr. Solutions, but some people are under the impression that is definitely his voice.
Okay.
Did you already play
it? Hello?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
did you already
fine,
play
I
it?
think that... What's that?
Do I keep going?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm not for sure if he should play a short segment, but that's up to Mr. Midnight Movie if he decides to.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play the segment. But I'm going to play a musical break.
Is it after the musical
All right.
break?
I want people to go to that show.
I will.
The musical break's not that long.
Okay.
This is a long... Come on, give me a break. All right,
okay,
Debbie,
before this.
come on. Are you smoking crack?
Did you play it before this? It's so hard to find. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to go back.
Doesn't sound like him. Come on, what are you talking? Crack. A little bit of...
He was called a house nigger. And that's what we call him today because we still got some house niggers running around here.
It's not this. Ouch.
All right, folks, I played the longer part of that tape. Bathtub Girl, are you back?
Okay. No, it's after this. I'm sorry. It's after this.
I don't know. I'll try a little bit more. I'm sure my audience has already
this.
quit now. Okay, how much further?
Loaded up. I don't know why it took so long.
Go a little bit further.
I'll be back in probably about 2 minutes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, and that's out.
Well, yeah, go further. Jewish producer hasn't even on yet. So.
Yeah. Distinguish between people when you have 8 people on...
Does she ever freaking shut up? God, it's just... Oh, I think you just played it. Let me back up.
And some people are very well adept at impersonating others. It's distinguished even
okay,
so, folks, let me just... Jewish producer's not in with us yet.
Oh. Okay.
That's after this. Yeah.
Okay. Damn it.
You know, I'm tired. And
they weren't very well invited or expected, and he unless the most she can say is yes, and the worst she can do is say no.
Carl Barks, you might want to take a look at this.
I heard that. I think that's the reason why we need to talk about child.
Well, dude, listen to the fucking radio. Listen to the show he was on, and then come back to me with how much money I paid you.
No matter how much money.
Okay, this is it, I think. Right after this.
I went forward.
Before
All right, I'm going to put myself on mute because I need to check something.
Thank God.
Are you there, Jewish?
I am.
Okay. So we are on the temple of objective thought. I put what's new in your neck of the woods in the chat room. The thing that he was on. I think I'll just put this on on my Facebook too.
Oh, this is your yes. This is our verification.
Absolutely.
Is that a picture of him?
No, I wish it were.
Sorry, guys. Hang on.
Okay.
So, and I put it in my Facebook also.
Is it far forward from this, do you think?
And it is him. I mean, look, that's his voice.
Just play it.
Anyone who says anything different,
Play it, goddammit.
bullshit. And we got the one angry Jew, Piston Pilot. Piston Pilot.
Why
welcome.
is Mike Beasley getting upset?
I have no idea. He's being a little bit of a bitch.
He's Mr. Solutions.
But that's okay.
I created him. I sent him out in the world, and I hear him getting upset.
I'll go forward some more. Hold on.
Girl.
Yeah.
Thinking you're done. Takes less than a minute. Probably. Well, I'll get it.
That guy.
I mean, Michael.
I can't find it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, too.
I'm sorry.
I can't find it. I've looked.
You know, I've been wanting to say
right there.
Do what? Do what, Jew?
You're being very impatient. If you just let it go, he plays it after I get on.
Oh, okay.
Michael Hood. Yeah.
Well, he puts a picture up of himself. He's got a picture on Twitter of himself. I don't know if that's really him. Could be a picture of anybody. I mean, really, we don't know. Nobody really knows what anybody looks like, what their real name is. When does somebody stop trolling? I mean, that's kind of a good question, right? But how do I know he's a Michael Hood, also known as Michael Park, because that's what he's got on his Blog Talk Radio. Well, that's what he had in his original one. Michael Park sometimes talks like a wigger, and sometimes he's real serious. He sounds normal, and then other times he's just often, I don't know what, he's often wacko-land. So I think that, much like other trolls, I think he's a troll of some sort. I mean, there's a lot of people who are trolling Blog Talk Radio. I can give you numerous examples of that.
Carl Bark said Goofy's a spigger. Hey, guys, I got to go to the bathroom real quick. Jewish producer.
I must ask you, what is it with you and these numerous bathroom breaks? Are you really...
I'm diabetic.
So that means that you go to the excretion facilities often.
Yeah.
Guys, do we have to hear this part? Isn't it where he talks about going to the bathroom and stuff?
You don't have to.
It's horrible.
It's almost over. It's almost there. So, because other times you've been cutting off through it. So.
Okay, I think I skipped over that yucky part. Let's pick up and see where we're at.
Gluteus.
Probably not.
Gluteus.
Well, I think it should be. I think it should be set up so that he can do that next time.
Maybe we can arrange that. Yeah.
Well,
I
think that's a good idea. And then what you do is you take clips of every time he strains and intersperse them with Angela's voice.
Gluteus.
Yes.
Gluteus
Gabby
is Latin
McCutcheon's
for
waiting.
Jew.
I think that's sheer brilliance. What do you think?
Debbie does it every time she opens her mouth, says Carl Bark.
Gluteus.
What does Carl Barks know? I don't even know what Beth
Gluteus.
is saying. Some
It's Latin for Jew. Gluteus. That's what you should use as a name on BTR, Gluteus.
Well, I think the
Well, it
grifter
does raise
of souls. I believe the grifter of souls is quite.
Well, that's a good one, but for a backup one, Gluteus.
Oh.
You do know you're torturing me listening to this voice.
Okay, I know.
Gluteus,
Not
gluteus.
crucified yet.
Oh my God.
You're going to be safe. Watch.
Millions.
It does raise an interesting question, though. If you use too much soap, couldn't you dry out that region and would that lead to some?
How does one use
Well,
too
I
much
think I would
soap?
use Dove soap. It's gluten-free.
Yes, Dove soap.
Gluten-free.
She'll be shoving oatmeal down there and eating lunch next.
Not going to eat it.
Bathtub girl sounds like she's up for almost anything.
Well, Dial soap has tons of gluten in it. It's a horrible soap to use if you're on a gluten-free regime.
Tons of gluten. Yes, I'm worried about gluten on the end, I see. Okay.
What is that?
Ooh, it sounded like a toilet bowl.
Further, like
You're not holding a spoon over a flame, melting something.
Guys, I've listened now to I don't know how much of it. It's just not. It's just getting worse. It's getting worse.
All right. Jesus Christ. Well, just play what's new in your neck of the woods.
I can't. I don't know. I mean, it's just her voice is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Is it just me? If it's just me, I'll shut up.
It's just you. There are far worse sounds, and Mr. Solution is far worse of a sound to me.
Oh, no way. Her voice is like...
That phony baloney... Well, listen to him on... You'll get to my show, and you'll hear something even more horrifying. Him in a southern drawl.
But she's just so goddamn loud. It's just... She just bellows over everybody.
Ready to suckle up those
Never done that.
Never done
that. I really don't like needles. I'm anti-vaccine.
Do you take
With
pills?
Carl Barks, hold on, guys. I have to interrupt. I think a Jewish producer would find this funny. Angela didn't, but Carl Barks wrote, as I was getting ready to go to the bathroom the first time, and I didn't, but he wrote, burn a log into bathtub girl's face. And
it was just nasty.
There we go.
Well, what I would like you to do, Mr. Midnight Movie, is to take your microphone with you next time you're going to take a dump, because I think you guys should get drops of you straining.
Yes.
And intersperse them with the voice of Angela, which I think would make a very pleasant mix. And you can use that. You can use that to torture Mr. Solutions and apparently Beasley.
Now, Simon Fox says that it sounds nothing like him.
Oh, come on.
Simon Fox, you're a fake Jew, by the way, and you're full of shit, as Stabby is. I just dumped out logs that were bigger than your bullshit. You two fuck-faced morons. I can't believe how stupid. It doesn't sound anything like it. You guys are so full of shit. It's just
apparently the only one who's not full of shit is you, because you take such frequent dump breaks.
That's correct. Jewish producer, do you think you can fire that clip up?
Yes.
Why did you say that twice?
I'm working on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. One angry Jew?
Why did you say that twice?
I have no idea.
You're not the only one that does that. There's several people that repeat themselves.
I've been known to do that.
Have you ever noticed that I never do that?
And just playing the clip would show what a phony fuck Mr. Solution really is.
What is it that you were trying to say?
Now, Simon Fox says you're delusional if you think that sounds like Solution. You are a fucking moron.
We will have a test in just about 3 minutes.
Okay.
Well, at 8:53 would be the best part, because it sounds so much like him.
Maybe
He says his
8:54.
name.
Give Jewish producer a little bit of time. Our equipment is a little bit lacking. My BTR father has not written that fucking check yet. So.
Are you able to take your microphone into the excretion facility?
No, I'm not. I don't have a microphone. As well as I speak, it's all
What do you
my
have?
voice. The microphone is connected to the computer, and it's not mobile like that.
What kind of computer is it?
Let's see.
Well, it functions.
Now, Simon Fox says you're delusional if you think that sounds like Solution, and he says you're also fat.
I asked the question that you didn't answer. Why is that?
What's the
Why didn't you
question?
answer my question?
It's his show.
What
Okay,
kind
go
of
ahead.
computer are you using?
It's a Toshiba.
So you have is it a laptop?
Yes.
Yes. And you have a microphone built into this Toshiba, and that's what you use to do the show?
Yes.
Oh. Why don't you have an external microphone?
I did buy one, but it didn't work properly.
What did you buy?
You know what? I forget what I bought. All I remember is that it did not. It worked for a
Hey,
while.
I'd like
and
to
then-
add something if I could. This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say and kind of piggybacking on it, personal experiences. I live in.
Okay, if you don't think that is
Come
Solution,
on, that was him.
you're out of your mind.
One Angry Jew.
Play it again.
You heard that.
Hey, I would like to add something if I could. This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say and kind of piggybacking on it, personal experiences. I live in Central.
No, I don't believe that is. See, pause that for a second. You're missing pieces. I don't believe that.
He's entitled to his opinion.
Hang on. I was laying
Your
down.
mouth is a dirty wiper.
Hold on.
Well,
I'm going to do
it sounds
something.
like a-
I'm going to do an
it sounds
on.
like a
His ears are.
Hold on. I'm going to do an on-air comparison.
Hey, I would like to add.
Entitled.
Hold on.
Shh. Play it.
It did not.
Listen,
it worked for a
Hey,
while.
I would like to add something if I could. This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say and kind of piggybacking on it, personal experiences. I live in.
Okay. Now, don't say anything. I'm going to go grab a clip of Mr. Solution and show y'all what we're talking about here. Let me find... hold on. Now I got to find my freaking show. Where is it? No. God damn it. I hit Perry Steele accidentally. What a clusterfuck show I'm doing here.
You're doing a great job, Debbie.
Well, right.
Bye.
Do what?
Just listen back. You're doing a great job.
Okay, here we go. Right. I don't know when damn Sunday was. Was Sunday the 4th? Yeah, it was. Here we go.
Information that's necessary in a very brief fashion. It's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
Okay, now let's compare those two clips. Right.
It's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
Okay, and I've got the other one right. Hold on, I'm going to do an on-air comparison.
Hey, I would like to add.
Hold on.
It did not.
Listen,
it worked for a
Hey,
while.
I would like to add something if I could. This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say and kind of.
Okay, we've got that part. I've got that clipped out. And now we're going to clip out the other part. Let me open up a new file and put that. Okay, there's that. Now we're going to go back. Here's this one.
This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say
And I see what you're talking about, Jew.
See that, and I've never heard him use fillers like that when he talks.
True. And that's hard to fake. So let's go back and find where we had him talking over here. Let's see. Hold on, now I gotta find my freaking show. Where is it? No.
Hello.
God damn it! I
clicked on Perry's.
Did you hear Perry go, hello? Show I'm doing here.
You're doing a great job, Debbie.
Well, right.
Goodbye.
Do.
You're doing a great job.
Okay, here we go. Right. I don't know when damn Sunday was Sunday the 4th. Yeah, it was. Here we go.
Information that's necessary in a very brief fashion. It's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
Okay, we're going to it's kind of like the Reader's Digest version and take it over there to the other file. And here we go. Here's what we all been waiting on. And we're going to put that right there. Ready? Here we go. Go.
This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say then, and
it's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
Well, comments?
I still don't think it's the same person.
Oh, come on. Come on. That's him.
I'm going by that and stuff. When somebody uses fillers like that, they use them all the time. I've never heard Solutions use that. You've never heard me use that. If you ever heard somebody claiming that someone else was me, and you heard, if you heard that kind of crap, it wouldn't be me.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
just the voices are the same, though.
Here we go.
Now
I'm not saying the voices are not.
Listen, I've got them amped down. I've got them amped to the same. I've got them amped to the same.
But hold on a second. I'm not saying the voices aren't similar. I'm saying that there are mannerisms in the one voice that I've never heard Solutions utter.
But he's also using a Southern dialect, too. So he's changed himself. He's a complete phony. Come on, man.
All right, let's let the audio play again. Listen.
This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say then, and
it's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say then, and
it's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say then, and
it's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
What do y'all think?
They're the same person. Come on, man.
I'm saying I think the voices sound similar, but the mannerism that and gets me. I still
does your chat board say?
I'm not reading it. I'd never go over there practically because it's you know how bad luck I've had with chat boards in the past. I know that on Spreaker.
But I'm telling you, they're the same people. Bottom line.
You think?
Well, why don't you tell me where you got that recording from, and I'd like to listen to more of it.
It's from what's going on. You just if you go to Blog Talk and you go on their search board of what's going on in your neck of the woods or what's new in your neck of the woods, you'll find that show, and it's got a picture of a black chick on there.
But it looks like somebody in drag. I've never seen such an ugly woman in my life. Ooh, that woman's ugly. Yeah. I am not lying, Mr. Midnight Movie. I've never seen a woman that ugly in my life.
But that's Mr. Solution. Anyone who's, I guess, I hear the same type of voice patterns, and he's using a Southern drawl. Obviously he's polished himself. And he's done some speech, some form of speech therapy to better himself.
This is Brian Coleman, and I would just like to say then, and
it's kind of like the Reader's Digest version.
This is Brian Coleman, and
if I look at it on a spectrum, it'll tell me if it's the same voice. And here we go. Wow. It's right on the same. It goes up to 4 Ks, whatever a K is. It stays exact. It's the same. It's the same level. Is what I'm saying. Well, that right there will pretty much prove it. Like, if I record all 3 of us talking, you have to get down to the scientifics of it. Like,
and hold on a second. Did you hear him say the name? Is he saying Brian Toland or Brian Coleman?
Coleman.
Brian Coleman.
Well, you're getting that from the show notes, but I'm not hearing Coleman from the man's mouth. I'm hearing Toland.
Well, then then no wonder you can't hear hear it's Mr. Solution, but it's Mr. Solution. He came on and said his name was Brian Coleman. Whether it is Brian Coleman or not, he might have been given an alias, but he definitely has a fake Southern drawl, and he's got another persona on there as well. And he's developed that, and he's developed his way of speaking. If anyone has seen the movie The Queen's Speech, you
But
can,
he's not only
overcome
developed the way, he's not only speaks the way he does, he's got an extensive vocabulary that
you can tell,
most people wouldn't be able to achieve.
Okay.
I don't think I have
All right.
the vocabulary.
Okay. Let's say you're right, Jew. What about this? The night before Mr. Midnight Movie aired that, Mr. Solution was on his show and said, if you give out real information on somebody, you're automatically 404'd. The next night, that rolled, and he was 404'd. Explain that.
Coincidence.
Coincidence?
Yeah. Was he mentioning that it was information about me or information about anyone? It sounded generic.
No, he said him. He said, if you give out my information, because Brian was talking about it the night. Well, I'll just play that. Can I play that, Brian?
Go for it.
Yeah, this is what he threatened the night before. To me, this is the tell-all of tell-alls. And I'm trying to stay sort of in the middle of the road here because I'm just not 100% convinced that's who it is. But I think it's very coincidental.
Cast from my phone, my internet, and television. I have just about every channel.
They're better than this.
I'm closer than that. We ought to meet up for lunch sometime to do because she's crossed this. I can see through his.
Well, we all have our little hidden secrets, and this is one of mine that I participate in this shit. I mean, Brian's show. This is literally the lowest that I could ever sink. This is the lowest I could sink. This is it. I'm sorry.
Want to call it cyber slumming? Cyber slumming, is that a good term?
Yeah, that's good.
That fits.
That fits. So, Solution, what is your name? What is your first name, please?
Brian, that is the most. Why is name important? Now, you tell me why is that important? Wait. You got to shut up and let me answer the question.
Why don't you call
Why
me
is that important?
Again. Why do you call me by my name? Why can't I call it? Because if you can call me by my first name, I should be able to call you by yours.
Well,
I didn't reveal your first name, Brian.
I don't know.
What do you mean? I don't care what your first name is. I don't know that that's your first name, or second name, or third name. I don't care. All I hope is that there's a brain behind the name. And I did say hope.
Someone said, don't post here for a few days, and you still want to suck my dick, don't you, Mr. Slave?
Oh, sick the tank. Remember his dad beat his ass and put him in reform school. And I think he just got out of jail. So Sick the Tank is a sick bastard without any equivocation.
I don't think Mr. Solution would have you 404'd because I think Mr. Solution enjoyed coming on your show, Brian, Mr. Midnight Movie.
You know what? I think he has a false persona, and I think he wanted, his persona of Mr. Solution, I think he liked. So, and why didn't he give me his name? Why didn't he just say my name's Rich?
Why did Joe call him Rich? That's what I'd like to know.
His name. Maybe he gave out his name as Rich, but his real name is Brian Coleman. I'd like you to ask Joe if he ever listened to the show before. What would Joe say?
I just don't know why you're so obsessed with that. I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't. I hate it.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you why. Well, for me anyway, just for my reason, is he says he deals in facts, and if I'm dealing with someone who, to me, he was a very powerful presence, it to me is like the movie The Wizard of Oz. Where he had a very big, powerful persona, and then behind that curtain is a weak, small man, and a narrow-minded man too.
No, I disagree. He's the one that gave them all their knowledge. He said to the 10 men, he said, "It's not a heart is not judged by how much it's loved, but by how much it's loved, my fine galvanized friend." He's the one that
he turned into a nice guy once the graven image was taken down.
I see what you're saying.
So,
but don't you think it's everybody's right to bring on the internet the image that they want to bring on the internet?
Sure, and it's my right to. If they give out their name, it's my right to expose them for who he was. And I'm not the one who exposed him. It was a guy named Rick from Newcastle who was disgusted by the guy and thought, he'd habitually interrupt me and belittle me, and telling me he deals in facts and that he was this and he was that. Well, fuck you. You're not this and you're not that. You're a phony fuck.
But
he called my show all the time. But all the time, he would call my show.
But you could have put him on mute, Mr. Midnight Movie.
That's true. That's true. And I chose to be diplomatic with someone who wasn't diplomatic. And now he's totally full of shit. He's impolite. He's a punk. He's a punk that's impolite, and tries to belittle, what I say and what I do. So, and he got exposed, and he didn't like it. I mean, in my opinion, he didn't. I mean, if that's him, wouldn't it be embarrassing? Wouldn't it be humiliating? If that's him?
If that is him, true.
And he went to humiliate. To me, it turnabout's fair play. He went to humiliate me. I did it right back to him. I had a shot to humiliate him. He humiliated me. I did it right back.
I mean to tell you, I put one of them in his place one night. Me and Hassan were over here cracking up, but we can hear that everything had to be about him. You heard it right there. This point right there. That was him perfectly. We tell him that Big Bill died, and you could tell in his voice that he was just skating the issue and could not wait to move in for the target, which was, Debbie, I don't know what has come in between you and I.
Oh, I was talking about Laszlo. But it says the show that Debbie goes head-to-head with Mr. Solutions. I handled it different. When he started jumping on me, I threw him off. I threw him under the bus. And I just think that maybe you are just being too passive about it and letting him kind of walk all over you.
Well,
I hate to say that.
I was passive. But like I said, I think that, Debbie, if that is, okay, I believe it's him, and that's humiliating. I mean, if that's him, you have to admit that that's a humiliating tape of who he was and the persona he is now. So basically, what I did was really humiliate him, and he's going to get back at that. He's a vindictive person who, when people are humiliated, they tend to retaliate and retaliate hard. So that's what he did. He went to retaliate hard against me because I exposed him. Mm-hmm. I mean, I exposed him before, and that issue was swept under the rug. And now every time he talks and every time he's on a show, it's like, you're really, you're really Brian Coleman. You really are. You really are the person, on that show. What's new in your neck of the woods? You admitted to being part of the Nation of Islam, which you denied beforehand.
How did you find that show, What's in Your Neck of the Woods?
A gentleman by the name of Rick from Newcastle, who is a white separatist, put me onto it. And he said this man is a complete phony and a complete fraud. And he said he was going to smear his ass all over Blog Talk. And
so have you given any thought as to what Mr. Solutions, if that's true, what his nexus would be to this show?
His ego. I think he's a narcissist, and
I'm looking at her webpage.
Okay.
I'm really stretching to find a nexus that he would have anything to do with it.
You know what? I think he was deeply involved in the Black Power movement, and this, and he liked talking on that. But then he kind of got bored with it, and he moved on. But
these people are not. This is not Black Power anything. This is one woman runs a radio station, and the other woman is an entrepreneur.
Well, yeah, but they deal in but One Eye they deal in they do deal in Black Power to a sense.
I do see an interview with Victor Houston of the Black Panther Party. Okay, so that's one interview. I see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he goes on. Like I said, he was into that, and then he developed a different persona. And this persona, I think he wanted to stick with. He wanted to.
But how would he find? How would he find this particular person? You've never heard of the show before. I never heard of the show before.
Well, I have no idea to that. But I mean, it's not that difficult to find if you're trolling. If you're just interested in primarily black shows. And, about at least 50% of the shows on Blog Talk seem to be black, so you can just go on and just bloviate with people and be different characters. So this is just one of them. And first maybe he gave his real name, and then he decided, I'm going to go on as a fake name. I mean, how they found each other, to me, is
okay, let me ask this question. How long has he been around Black Talk Radio that you know of, prior to even knowing about this radio show?
You know what? I'm not really too sure. I'm not sure, but he's supposed to be an author. And I tried to look for his book. I think it's like the seven relationship stuff, and I can't find it.
Maybe you're looking under the wrong name.
What's that?
Maybe you're looking under the wrong name.
Wait, say that one more time. I kind of lost.
I didn't hear him say Brian Coleman. I heard Brian Toland.
No, he said Brian Coleman, and on the description of the show, it says Brian Coleman.
Well, that's what the show description says, but if you listen to that, I heard the first 2 minutes of that show. And she didn't even know who she was talking to. She said a completely different name.
Yeah, and then he said, this is Brian Coleman. And the description in the show says Brian Coleman. So she thought it was something different. She probably went back and edited the show and said Brian Coleman on there.
Oh, maybe. I hear two black men speaking. But I hear one of them who is exhibiting characteristics that I've never heard our friend Mr. Solutions exhibit.
You can change voice patterns and characteristics. Actors do that all the time, and he's an actor.
Okay.
He's someone who, he put on a very deep. He put on kind of a southern drawl.
He's an actor who claims to be a lawyer and who seems to be quite proficient in the terms of the legal profession. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, he's a well-spoken man, and a lot of people in the Nation of Islam are very well-spoken, and they take quite a bit of vocabulary.
All right, is that your? Yeah, I'm very well spoken. Is that your bent on this? Is that you want to expose him as a member of the Nation of Islam?
Can you repeat that because I only got a few snippets of that for some. Hold on, let me see one. Go ahead again.
Well, here's what I want to do. I want to listen to that show, the interview with Brian Coleman, or what did I say his name was? Coleman, whatever it is. I want to hear the interview.
Okay.
And I want to hear whether or not this person sounds like, well, number one, sounds like Mr. Solutions.
We're out of time, guys. We're out of time. We have a
matters.
few seconds left, if y'all can hear me.
Oh, good.
Okay, I'm fine.
Oh, no,
That skirt steak was 7 o'clock. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry, too.
The Jew needs tuna.
Ooh, I hate tuna. I can't
No, I'm
stand
back to doing low carbs.
I can't stand tuna.
I'm gonna lose more weight than you and David.
Who's David?
You're your show host. Which is it? I can't even. The guy was on last night. It's David, right?
David, yeah, Dave.
Yeah.
They're saying that I posed as a 17-year-old and got a 14-year-old to have sex with me.
Who said that?
I'm kind of flattered. I'm flattered that I could pose as